And a good morning from the state championships in high school volleyball. Rocky Downing along with Bryce Dolan is going to be joining us on the air as this state championship unfolds for the Hanover Lady Wildcats this morning. They open up against Prairie, and then we'll have the Axtell Eagles, of course, coming up later on in the afternoon. Their first serve will be at 4:30 here on KCLY. The Hanover Lady Wildcats getting set to work for the second straight year at the state championships. They'd had a long absence from being at state. It dated back to 1979. But here they come back for the second straight year after a runner-up, getting up against Centralia last year. And interesting that both these TVL teams are in the same pool again this year. They both made it out of the pool last year and then met up in the championship match. Close first game, and then Centralia would end up getting it in straight sets, and Hanover would take second place at state. Now they're back to take another run at a state title here at Gross Memorial Coliseum. Stay with us. We're going to take a break. We're about 3 minutes from the starting lineups. They've had the Parade of Champions coming out, all the teams announced in front of all the crowd here around the roundhouse at Gross Memorial Coliseum. So we're a couple of minutes away from getting this first serve started. We're back after this.
As a third-generation seed company, Oldie Seed has pioneered the development of soil-specific hybrids that thrive in your soils. Our Know to Grow research program is the largest in the Midwest and utilizes advanced technologies including Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link soybeans. Oldie's research program delivers top yields while helping you win the war on resistant weeds. This season, don't settle for anything less than a soil-specific seed from Oldie Seed.
When physical disabilities or injuries make everyday mobility a challenge or even dangerous, Patterson's Health Mart Pharmacy is there with durable medical supplies to get you where you need to go safely. They'll help you with canes, walkers, crutches, braces, and wheelchairs. They'll even fit diabetics with shoes made especially for their comfort needs. So for safety and mobility, it's good to know where to find the durable medical supplies that can give you the freedom to remain as active as possible. They're at Patterson's Health Mart Pharmacy in downtown Clay Center.
Take action now for a successful crop next year. At Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed and Feed, we're ready to help you plan for next season's weed control, moisture conservation, and fertilizer needs. For your plan, we'll utilize soil testing and variable seeding rates to come up with site-specific fertilizer and seed systems. Now is a good time to establish your fertilizer and chemical program for productive crops in 2018. Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed and Feed. We offer customized solutions to help your crop thrive.
When you grow corn or soybeans for a living, you're always looking for the latest advances to help your fields be more profitable. That's why it's time to turn to Channel. When you plant elite Channel seed products, you also get the services of your very own Channel seedsman. You see, your seedman works with you year-round to make the most of your operation.
For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact Colton with Frontier Ag Supply, 785-630-0596.
Once again, we bring you back to the state championships here at Gross Memorial Coliseum on the campus of Fort Hays State University. Cold outside on this football Friday, a full day of volleyball and then football tonight, but it is certainly going to heat up here in this gym as both these teams have gone through their warm-ups. We're about ready to see the starters take the court, and then, of course, we'll have volleyball coming your way here on KCLY. 8:30 first serve for the Hanover Lady Wildcats about to go. They'll go again at 11:30, and at 12:30, their first matchup is against the Bulldogs of Prairie. That is the number 4 seed. They are 32-4. Hanover 29-10, the number 5 seed. So a meeting of 4 and 5 seeds here at the state championships to get things started on this Friday morning. Last year, as mentioned, Centralia winning the state title. They've got a bunch of them on their trophy case, but Hanover tested them. In fact, Hanover beat them in pool play last year to get into the semifinals on Saturday morning, and then would end up losing to Centralia in the championship. So those two Twin Valley League teams certainly know each other very, very well, and about to take the court now as we see them march out on the floor. Both teams now will circle to the net, slap hands, and we'll have first serve coming here in just a moment or two. The Hanover Lady Wildcats led by Macy Debley, 400 kills on the season. And then Zarbanicki, of course, kind of does it all, 232 kills. She has 600 assists as well, so you'll see her all over the court for Hanover and Coach Kim Losey. Hanover Lady Wildcats, the Bulldogs are Prairie here in state championship weekend. Of course, tomorrow, state cross country is on the air. We'll have the first report at 10, get things started with a preview, and then top of the hour to keep you updated on all that's happening. Football on the air tonight. Clay Center plays for a district title against Smoky Valley. That'll be at 7 o'clock, and a full day of high school state championship volleyball starting with this first serve, with the officials checking rotations right now. And as soon as they have that set and the arm goes out from the chair official, we'll have our first serve on the way. For Hanover, it will be on the court right now. Macy Debley, we mentioned about up front, along with Tiana Losi. And also on that front row is Emma Bruna. The serve across from Pretty Prairie. We're underway in the state championships. Here's a pass from the back row up front and then softed across by Hanover. Now a play up at net and kept alive. Good dig on the outside by Bruna. Now the big swipe at it, saved by Pretty Prairie. They'll set up at the net. Here's the set across. Could be a chance here for Hanover. Set to the far side. The big wind up. And again, Pretty Prairie able to hang on to the shot taken across by Tiana Losi that time. Here's another set. Losi once more sets it across. Soft block up front. Just pushed across, and now it's going to be a miss hit against Hanover and a point to Pretty Prairie. So a good scramble by both teams. Really a great rally, but it ends up at a point for Pretty Prairie, and Hanover will trail 0-1. Of course, two matches going on. The other court also from this pool. There's a serve that was going out, and they just couldn't get out of the way of it. Making that decision with Taylor Cliff on the back row, and as she tried to dodge it, it just caught her leg, and it ends up another point for Pretty Prairie. 32-4, Pretty Prairie, the Bulldogs, number 4 seed. Here's the pass up front from the libero, Tasha Bruna, pushed across, and now Pretty Prairie's got to play up at net. And the dig by Bruna, Tasha Bruna, diving get. Here's a play up front, and Hanover's got their first point of the ball game. Big swing at the net by Claire Zarbanicki. And it's 2-1. Hanover trails by a point, and back to serve it will be Zarbanicki for the Hanover Wildcats. On its way across, pass up front, Pretty Prairie. Outside set, left-handed, falling away, really. Not a great spike for Pretty Prairie. A chance here for Debley at the net, and it's point Hanover. And we're tied at 2. The Wildcats get a couple of kills up front. This one from Macy Debley, who had, as we mentioned, 400 kills on the season. So she gets her first one here at the state championships. We're tied at 2. Zarbanicki again the serve across, pass up front. And now a middle set is going to go long. 3-2 Hanover with their first lead. Coach Kim Losi's team able to come from 2-0 down and now lead it by 1. The serve from Zarbanicki across, Pretty Prairie. Pass, middle hit again, and partially blocked by Debley. Great dig on the back row by Zarbanicki. Now the pass up front. Hit across by Hanover. Pretty Prairie, another middle hit. Debley keeps it alive, good dig. Now right back to Macy, the slam on its way. Partially blocked by Pretty Prairie. They're still in the play, and now they try to set it across. It goes into net, and now 4-2. Hanover has the lead by 2 points. And back to serve it again is Zarbanicki. Claire on a good roll right now for Hanover. Pass up front. Again, a middle set, and to the back row, just unable to keep it in play with Tasha Bruna that time for the Wildcats. But they lead 4-3 as Pretty Prairie gets the service back. To serve it for the Bulldogs will be Grace Hendrickson, 5'10" freshman here in 1A Division I to serve it. Hanover on defense. Serve goes wide and out, and Hanover has a free point given by Pretty Prairie. So the Wildcats a little struggle. The first 2 points, you'll remember, fell behind 2-0, but now it's been Pretty Prairie with some mistakes, and Hanover really getting after it up at the net. The serve comes from Emily Hendrickson for the Hanover Wildcats. Pass up front. Pushed across, now set to the back row. Forearm set, back row hit by Debley. Good smack from really quite a ways away from the net, but Pretty Prairie has a play at net, and it's a winner in to the middle court. And it makes it 5-4, Hanover by 1. And back to serve it will be Pretty Prairie, and it is Cassidy Keeler. Keeler from the far left side of the court to serve. Here's a set to the middle. Zarbanicki sets it up. A hit at net taken by Kylie Heenig, and now pushed across by Pretty Prairie. There's a swing at the net. Now it's Hanover with a chance. The set from Zarbanicki to Debley, cross-court winner, and Hanover goes up 6-4. Debley getting a few good smashes in here early up at net for Hanover. And back to serve for the Wildcats, Tiana Losi. Losi serves to the back row, pass up front, Pretty Prairie. Back row set, and the slam is going to go wide and out. And Hanover now leads it 7-4, so getting a little space in this opening match of the state championships. Losi, the serve. Here's a pass to the outside, and the hit into net. Hanover leads at 8-4, and they'll keep service for Losey. And now a timeout taken by Pretty Prairie. We'll break as well. You're listening to Hanover Wildcat State Championship Volleyball on KCLY.
When you need paint, you need Wallace True Value. We have the experience, knowledge, and quality products to make your paint project a beautiful success. Prepping your surface is vital to your finish, so stop in and see our tools, backlink, wallboard compound, sheetrock, lumber, and more while you choose your striking colors from our Beauty by Design portfolio. Easy color paint, walls invaluable assistance, and great knowledge 7 days a week in beautiful downtown Clay Center.
Tiana Losey with the serve, and Hanover on a roll. They lead at 8-4 right now. And Losey will again serve it. Across it comes. And a missed hit on the back row. They get a flat-footed spike that just gets across. In fact, a missed hit becomes a point. Hanover backing up to defend a hard hit coming at them, and it was just kind of hit off the side of the hand, but it falls in an open court against Hanover. And their lead is now 8-5. The serve across. The pass up front from the Wildcats, Hendrickson. Now the slam across, and a winner in. Hanover's Taylor Clip slams it home, and the Wildcats have the serve back, and the lead now by 4 again, 9-5. Debley will step back to serve it for Hanover. Casey Debley, the official, actually asking if the ball is dry. Maybe had some perspiration on it. Was going to offer the towel up, and ends up going long on the service, and so the mistake gives Pretty Prairie the score. Hanover, though, the lead, 9-6. To serve at Madison Waywee, 5'6" junior. And Hanover scrambling to keep it alive, they will. Pass up front, set across. Here's the pass to Debley. The set across. Zarbanicki winds it up, and just out on that back corner, just missing the line, was Claire Zarbanicki off the set from Debley that time. 9-7 now. Hanover's lead of 4 is down to 2 points. And again, Pretty Prairie, the service across. Losey to the back row. Now she'll roll it across. A chance for Pretty Prairie. It's a middle set and partially blocked by Clip. And now picked up by Hanover. Zarbanicki just rolls it across. Pass up front. And it will be a flat-footed spike to the back row and a miss hit against Hanover. And the violation gives Pretty Prairie the scoring, and a 1-point lead now for Hanover. That's 3 straight points scored by Pretty Prairie, and the lead for the Wildcats is 9-8 in this opening match. And now into net on service, so a 3-point for Hanover, and the lead is 2, 10-8. The libero, Tasha Bruna, in to serve it, the 5'5" senior for Hanover. Up front for the Wildcats, rotating in is Emma Bruna. Here's a serve across, a good low-dipping serve, and then a spike at net, though, is pulled wide and out of bounds. And Hanover leads by 3, 11-8. Tasha Bruna again to serve. And across it comes. Pass up front, middle hit by Pretty Prairie, and they find open space right through the middle. The big hitter up front, Morgan Schrag, 5'11", and a junior, and she'll drop back to serve it now. And Hanover just had nobody covering the center court that time on the back row. Schrag will serve. Hanover's lead is 2, 11-9. And a miss hit on the dig, and it's going to go out of play. And now Hanover leads by 1, 11-10. Opening match of the 1A Division I state championships. Hanover against Pretty Prairie, the 5 and 4 seeds matched up. The serve from Pretty Prairie on the back row, passed up front from Cliff, and now the spike across by Zarbanicki. The set from Debley, the slam from Zarbanicki, and Hanover leads it now 12-10. Back to serve it for the Wildcats, Emily Hendrickson. The 5'5" sophomore right in the center court brings it across. Pass up front. Set on the far side to the back row and mishandled again. It's a big hit on the outside. They were right down the seam. It seems to be the aiming point for Pretty Prairie thus far. They really tried to go right down the middle, and they found a couple of winners here recently and cut the lead back to 1. Here's a pass up front. Debley's going to set it to the outside. Zarbanicki has it blocked back across. Big play at the net by Cassidy Keeler. And now 12-12. We're tied up. Hanover did have a lead by 4. once they trailed 2-0 to start, they took the lead and have not given it back up, and right now in danger of that with a 12-12 tie. And the serve comes across. Pass up front, clip. Now it's set from Debley across to Losi and just took her into the antenna. And now Hanover trails by 1, and the Wildcats want a timeout. Coach Tim Losi with a look to bring his team over and get the focus back in. Hanover trails by 1, opening game of the state championships here at Gross Memorial Coliseum.
The best meals are made with the very best beef. Certified Angus beef, now available at Ray's Apple Market. Certified Angus ensures and promotes a certain standard and uniformity of quality in beef products. For superior taste and tenderness, every cut of Certified Angus beef brand has to meet 10 exacting standards. The result is a truly remarkable beef product you'll come to select time and time again. Choose your beef wisely. Certified Angus beef from Ray's Apple Market.
From our family ranchers to your family table.
I want to remind you that this activity is being brought to you by the station, KCLY, the advertisers, and the member schools of the Kansas State High School Activities Association. No rebroadcast in whole or in part may be made without the written permission of KSHA. Hanover Wildcats had a lead of 4. Now they trail by 1, 13-12. Here's a serve across, and mishandled on the back row. And Pretty Prairie's got it rolling, and Hanover's given some points here recently. And so the timeout by Coach Kim Losi trying to re-gear things. And instead, Pretty Prairie gets a point that really should have been dug on the back row. Now the pass. Tasha Bruna the set. Zarbanicki the hit, and a winner for Hanover. And so right back within 1, and they'll have the service for Claire Zarbanicki. Zarbanicki, as mentioned, coming into the state championships, had 232 kills. She's had 3 or 4 already in this matchup, and she had 600 assists. That time she was assisted by Bruna. Here's a push across, nearly blocked by Debley, and now we've got a violation. They say Macy hit nets. They're calling a violation. She can get up and stuff that across as long as she doesn't get into the net, but evidently caught it on that attempt to stuff it back against Pretty Prairie, and so Hanover trails 15-13. Set to serve, Pretty Prairie. The Bulldogs bring it across, and 2 Wildcats go at it at the same time, and that miscommunication forces an error. And now it's Hanover down by 3. And Pretty Prairie again to serve. On its way across it comes. Bruna almost missed hit, saved by Debley, then pushed across by Zarbanicki. Here's a pass up front. Outside hitter. Debley keeps it alive. No, it's the double hit. And now the Wildcats are down by 3. On the other court is South Central and Rollins County, and right now the lower seed, 6th seed Rollins County, is up 17-14. Here it's Hanover down 17-13. They fall behind by 4. Here's Debley with a play at net. Soft block up front, keeps it alive for Pretty Prairie. Now they've got to swing at it to the back row, and a winner down the middle again. And Hanover's fallen behind by 5. The Wildcats 18-13 down, and Pretty Prairie with the serve. Best of 3, of course, as it is through the regular season here in the state championships. Here's Bruna. The pass up front, Zarbanicki to Debley. The windup, and it's dug out by Pretty Prairie. Outside hit on its way, cross-court winner. That was angled at a, I'm not sure that was a missed hit or if she guided that in that direction, but she found open court for Pretty Prairie, who's opened up a 6-point lead on the Wildcats. And a timeout again by Coach Kim Losi. You're listening to Hanover Wildcats State Championship Volleyball on 100.9.
Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement in Concordia reminds you that brutal winter days will soon be here. You're almost out of time to have your roof replaced before the cold weather season arrives. Roof work must be completed with daytime temperatures of at least 45 degrees in order to avoid long-term problems with adhesiveness. Learn more at GeislerRoofing.com.
This is Dallas Hasselmack, and Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement has you covered with more than 38 years experience.
Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement. We've got you covered.
Serve across from Pretty Prairie. Hanover trying to stop the tide right now. Here's a windup by Losi. Picked up by Pretty Prairie. Outside hit. Soft block. Losi. Debley to Zarbanicki. Right back to Debley for the slam. It's in. Point Hanover. And it makes it 19-14 within 5. And they stop a little swing that had been going for the Pretty Prairie Bulldogs. Hanover to serve it. Rotating in for that serve will be Emily Hendrickson. Hendrickson along with Zarbanicki on that back row. And Taylor Clip. Rotating into the front row is Kylie Koenig. Here's a back row hit, just catching net, just getting across. Good dig on the back row coming from Hendrickson. Now the push across by Hanover to stay in the point. Here's a middle hit, and into net, miss hit by Pretty Prairie. 2 straight points for the Wildcats, has them back within 3 at 19-16. The other court we mentioned, it is now tied up at 18-18. There's a serve coming across, and ace service for Hendrickson. And actually, now it's 19-16. I thought there was an extra point that should have been put on. I think Coach Losey may be saying the same thing. Is that what he's talking about? It says 19-16. I thought they were down by 2 now. But it is a 3-point game. But Hanover with a couple of straight ones trying to get themselves back in this thing. They had fallen behind by 6. Here's a serve across. Good dig on the back row by Hendrickson. And a slam. Debley, they say just long, and it was close. At the collegiate level, they might have been holding up a green card for a challenge. It was right bang, bang on the line, but just out of bounds. And Pretty Prairie with the point, now up by 4, 20-16. Serve across, Losey to pass, Zarbanicki. Middle hit for Henig, back row. Winner this time. Hanover gets it in, and they're within 3, 20-17. Back to serve it, Tiana Losey. Losey will stand on the far right side of the court with the serve. And miss hit, Pretty Prairie over into their bench, and a illegal hit, falling into the bench, trying to keep it alive, and just double hit it. So Hanover's within 2 now, trying to claw back in this thing. Serve across, and an ace service from Losey. Diving dig attempt near the line by Cassidy Keeler. All she could do was get a fist on it. And now Hanover within 1. The serve from Losey. Pass up front. Middle, no outside hit, and it's stuffed back. Point! Hanover, Macy Debley. Kylie Henig both up on the play, stuffing it back across, and it's tied 20 apiece. Hanover was down 6 at 19-13, and now have it tied at 20 each. Here's a play up at net for Pretty Prairie, saved by Losey. Zarbanicki. Debley back sets it. She was facing the back row of Hanover and set it over her head to the other side. Now Hanover with a dig on the back row. They'll have to roll it across. Debley does so. Here's the Bulldogs up front. And it is a shot that does catch the line on the Hanover side, 21-20. Hanover down by 1, but what a great run. They were down by 6 points, 19-13, and now trailed by just 1, 21-20. Important points as we head down the stretch in this one in game number 1. And speaking of important points, the libero, April Colson, puts the serve into net. It's tied again, 21-21. And Macy Debley will serve it. Pass up front. Outside hit, Hendrickson, and in, 22-21. Hanover trails by a point. Correction, it was Morgan Schrag with the swing for Pretty Prairie. She is their go-to at the net, and that time was able to find the side of the court and really painted that line for the point, 22-21. Hanover trails by a point. The serve across, they let it go long. That's 2 straight serves missed, 1 into net, 1 going long for Pretty Prairie. So Hanover a couple of gifts. Let's see if they can take advantage of it as Tasha Bruna steps back to serve. Tied at 22. Pretty Prairie. They'll just roll it across. Should be an opportunity for Hanover. Zarbanicki to Bruna. Outside hit. Set across instead. Couldn't get a swing at it that time. And now the pass or the dig from Bruna up front. Hit across by Clip. Picked up on the back row, and now the spike in for Pretty Prairie. Hanover had a couple of chances for a good swing. Didn't get a great look at it. The final shot was hit in by Emma Bruna, and then Pretty Prairie was able to dig it out and get a point of their own. They lead by 123-22. To serve it will be Schrag for Pretty Prairie. And it's a miss hit on the back row, and a point, game point coming up for the Bulldogs. 24-22. Pretty Prairie leads by 2 on game point. Schrag to serve. Across it comes. Here's Debley. Out or middle set for Zarbanicki. Dug out by Pretty Prairie. Swing at net. Cross court. Losey digs it. Here's Debley. Outside hit. Emma Bruna. Stuffed back across. Save. And then stuffed again up front by Pretty Prairie. And Hanover will fall in this first game, 22-25. Back and forth battle. The Hanover Lady Wildcats lose game one, 22-25. Stay with us. Hanover Wildcat State Championship Volleyball will continue after this.
Having trouble understanding your internet connection? Just think of it in terms of water. The size of a water hose determines how quickly you get water, and the same goes for your internet. A garden hose pumps out less water than a fire hose, just like a 5 meg connection loads pages slower than a 20 meg. At the end of your hose is a sprinkler, which is equivalent to your router. If your sprinkler is old and clogged, it can only push out so much water, no matter how big of a hose it's connected to. For best results, be sure your router is up to date. For more questions, check out our website at bluevalley.net.
Don't have time to stop by a bank to open an account? No problem. With United Bank and Trust, we make it easy by bringing our bank to you. Whether you're at home, at work, or anywhere you have access to a computer, simply go to ubankonline.com and click on the Open an Account icon. Save time by opening an account online with United Bank and Trust. It's banking for your way of life. Member FDIC.
Central Valley Ag suggests before you put your next crop in the ground, put the full precision ag package to work for you. Field Reveal, a powerful, innovative software platform combined with the 4-step Central Valley Ag Advanced Cropping System. You and your CVA field sales agronomist will put together seed selections, then use season-long field management to maximize your yield and profit. Get in touch with your nearest Central Valley Ag branch or go to cvacoop.com. Learn all about Field Reveal before you make plans for the next growing season.
Are you looking for great pay, consistent work, steady miles, quality time with your family? Then look no further. These are just a few reasons to contact TSI Kansas Incorporated. Add paid health and dental insurance, 401k, vacation and paid holidays, and you can have a great career with TSI Kansas. If you're a qualified truck driver with a Class A CDL and a minimum of 2 years over-the-road experience, we encourage you to apply at TSI Kansas Incorporated. Full and part-time over-the-road positions are available.
Hanover has the opening serve here in game number 2. They are down 1-0, and there's a stuff across and a point Hanover. And up front, Emma Bruna that time able to stuff the dig that was coming up near the tape by Pretty Prairie right back across, and Claire Zarbanicki will continue to serve up 1-0. Pretty Prairie outside hit on its way across. Tasha Bruna the dig. Zarbanicki forearm set up, a flat-footed spike from Debley. Now middle hit, pushed across. Bruna unable to handle it near the Wildcat sideline. So Pretty Prairie, their first point, and it's a tie 1-1. And Pretty Prairie back to serve. It will be the Bulldogs' Haley Keeler with that serve. Here's a pass up front. Zarbanicki sets up for Debley. Winner for Hanover. They're up 2-1. So they need this game to push a third game after losing a tight 23-25 back and forth battle. In the serve for the Wildcats will be Emily Hendrickson. Nice flat serve across, picked up by Pretty Prairie. Play at net, outside hit, wide. Pushed that time by Cassidy Keeler, and the Wildcats lead by a couple, 3-1. Hendrickson will again serve. Across it comes, Pretty Prairie up near the net, stuffed back across. Good hit by Henig. Once again, Henig, and once again dug by Pretty Prairie. It's good plays on both sides. Push across by the Bulldogs. Hanover from the back row, passed up front and rolled across by Henig to the backside of Pretty Prairie. Now a set up front and partially blocked out of bounds. Was it hit or not? That's a point Hanover. It caught tape. It was not hit by the Wildcats. It just hit the tape and then rolled out of bounds. And now we've got a floor official coming to straighten up the antenna where that ball hit and kind of rolled it off a little bit. Hendrickson will again serve for Hanover. They lead it now 4-1, so good start in game 2. Across it comes. Pretty Prairie. They can only roll it across and will. Chance for the Wildcats. Pass up front, Hendrickson. Zarbanicki. Outside hit, Debley. To the back row. Point, Wildcat. And so Hanover gets the point and leads it 5-1, and an early timeout taken by Pretty Prairie. Hanover leads it 4-1, down 1-0 here in the state championships on KCLY.
Crop Production Service is constantly looking for ways to help your bottom line grow. And with the Loveland products available, you'll get the results you want. From seed treatment and plant nutrition to fertilizer and crop protection, Crop Production Service offers top-of-the-line solutions to grow your crops, your bottom line, and your operation. Connect with your local CPS expert and experience the innovative products from Loveland. Crop Production Service, here to help you grow.
We bring you back once again to the state championships, high school volleyball. Hanover Wildcats right now leading 5-1 in game 2, although down 1-0. Hendrickson to serve it. Great serve across. It goes to Hanover's side of the court. Middle set for Losi, and a winner, Hanover. The set from Zarbanicki took her right up to the net. She quickly went over to Tiana and said, my fault, but Losi still got a pretty good hit on it, and then it was put down by Pretty Prairie into net and on the court. And Hanover now leads it by 6. Stuff at net. Hennick, yes! And what a roll right now for the Wildcats. They're up 7-1. And it will be, once again, Hendrickson to serve it. Pass up front for Pretty Prairie. Bulldogs hit it net. And this time blocked out of bounds by Hennick. She's had a couple of stuff at the net. This time her block went out of bounds. 7-2, though. Hanover with the lead here against the Bulldogs. It is Grace Hendrickson to serve. Emily Hendrickson for Hanover with the dig. Debley up at net. It's stuffed across, and it falls in bounds. It looked like it might just trickle across the line and out, but instead fell in, and it's a point again to the Bulldogs. And Hanover, their lead at 4 now, 7-3. There's a ace service across from Pretty Prairie's Hendrickson. And so they'll have the lead down to 3 points. Hanover jumped out 7-1, and now that lead is whittled down to just 3 points, 7-3. Serve across. Losi to Hendrickson, and pushed across now by Hennick. Here's a play at net. Outside hitter on its way. It's going to go long, out of bounds. Point to Hanover. Bulldogs thought there was a touch on it. The officials didn't see it. Cassidy Keeler's had some good hits at the net. That time went long. To serve, Tiana Losi. 8-4. Hanover by 4 points. Here's a middle set on its way to the back row. Losi diving try, but unable to get to it except for getting a fist on it. And it's now an 8-5 Hanover lead. And the Bulldogs keep the service. Pass up front, Hendrickson to Zarbanicki. Outside hit on its way, and a winner for Hanover. Taylor Clip puts it away this time. And the Wildcats' lead is back to 4 points, 9-5, and Macy Debley will serve. Serve across. Bulldogs. And just long. Schrag put it near the line. The back official hesitated and then pulled the arms up and called it out. So Hanover with that point has put the lead back to 5 at 10-5. The serve from Debley. Back row setup, and this one goes long. A back row spike set up that time by Cassidy Keeler, but her spike went long, and Hanover's lead is 6 now. Debley again to serve it. Pass up front near the net, stuffed by Hennick for a moment, saved by Pretty Prairie. Great diving get by Cliff, and now it's Pretty Prairie pushing it across. Debley, middle, or outside set, I should say, and it's pushed across and off the hands of a defender, and Cliff gets the point. And I'm going to go back to the dig that kept that point alive. That was actually Emily Hendrickson who made that dig, and then Cliff with the play up at the net. And now an ace service for Debley, and all of a sudden Hanover has a 13-5 lead. They're down 1-0, but up 13-5 in this second game. Here is the serve into net, so they give a point away here. And back to serve it will be the Bulldogs, but again, 13-6, Hanover leads in game 2. The serve is an ace across for the Bulldogs, mishandled on that back row by Hanover. And their libero, April Colton, will keep the service. Out of the Heart of Plains League, the Pretty Prairie Bulldogs, 4 seed here, 32-win team on the season. Hanover's got them on the ropes in game number 2 after losing the first one tight 25-23. Here's a hit by the Bulldogs. Hanover, pass up front, Hendrickson to Cliff, who sets it across. And now a play at net, pushed back by Cliff, but it goes out of bounds. That would have been a point had it not ridden the tape, just out of bounds enough to fall outside the line. Hanover leads 13-8. Game 2, down 1-0. The serve, Losey, the pass up front to Debley. Set across to Zarbanicki. And now saved on the back row. Middle set, spiked across. What a dig by Hendrickson. Now Debley, Tahini. And this spike is going to be dug out and passed across by Pretty Prairie. Debley, outside set. Cliff winds it up. It's stuffed back across. Losey keeps it alive. Debley sets it back across. Great scramble by Hanover. Here's another play at net. Losey again, and it's saved across, and a point for Cliff. Losey somehow dug that and kept it alive, and then Cliff did basically the same, but her hits just cleared the net to open court, and a point to Hanover, who leads 14-8. Tasha Bruno will serve it. Pass up front, and a set again. Now it's stuffed by Hanover, saved by Zarbanicki. Outside hit. And it's across and picked up by Pretty Prairie. Emma Bruna with that swing, and now it's Pretty Prairie with a spike up front from Schrag. 14-9. Hanover leads by 5. Down 1-0. By the way, it is the top seed over there in the other pool, the number 2 seed that did win their first game, and they're up 11-5 right now. Here's the pass up front. Debley tried to set it across. It's stuffed in there by Schrag. And so now Hanover's lead is 14-10. I should say the 3 seed, the higher seed, South Central, won that first game over Rollins County 25-23. They now lead 12-5. Hanover is up 14-10 here against Pretty Prairie. Good swing by Zarbanicki. Saved by the Bulldogs. What a dig from Tasha Bruna, then set to the back row, and it is just dug out by Pretty Prairie. So both teams scrambling. Here's Debley. Up near net, stuffed across. Bruna keeps it alive. It's Tasha Bruna, but her save ends up going out of bounds. Both teams are on the ropes on that point, and it was the Bulldogs who come out with the point. It's 14-11. Hanover's lead of what was 6, maybe 7 at one time, is now down to 3, and a timeout by Hanover. Wildcat State Championship Volleyball on KCLY will continue next.
Does your household have monstrous internet demands? If too slow internet is driving you batty and your little devils are complaining about the connection, it might be time to upgrade your internet service. Twin Valley is offering a spectacular special on internet speeds to handle all the necessary devices. Choose gig internet for $99.95 a month or 100 megabits per second for $59.95. Call Twin Valley at 800-515-3311 and tame those monsters. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. See Twin Valley for details.
Back again at Gross Memorial Coliseum, much like the first game in this match, back and forth. Both teams have had runs in both games. Hanover started out blazing in this second game, but now their lead has been diminished, and now a winner up front from Emma Bruna. 15-12, that lead had been cut down to 2. Now at 15-12, it will be Hanover back with the service. On its way across it comes. Bulldogs stuffed across. Emma Bruna again, saved though by Pretty Prairie. Now set across by Debley for a point. Hanover leads at 16-12. Macy Debley. She likes to have her back to the net and then set it across, and that's what she did there and found open court behind her, if you will. And the play up front, stuffed across. Emma Bruna again, saved by the Bulldogs. Now Debley from the middle, the setup for Zarbanicki. Back across net, the swing from Losey, near point, and it will be, as Pretty Prairie could never get it across the net, scrambling against the hit that time from Losey. And now 17-12. Hanover by 5. First match of our state championship coverage here on KCLY has been a great one thus far. And there's a winner across for the Bulldogs. Haley Keeler just one-handed set it to an open area on the sideline. And the lead is 4, 17-13. Hanover down 1-0. Bulldogs serve it. And a missed hit by Zarbanicki. And a point again to Pretty Prairie. Now it's 17-15. Hanover's lead is 3, 17-14. Scoreboard behind us, so try to keep that on cue for you. Here's Zarbanicki setting it across. Bulldogs up at net, pushed by Losey. Then Devley sets it back to the Bulldogs. Here's the hit across and saved on the far side there. Now Kiana Losey with a big hit and a winner. And it's 18-14. Losey gets the big hit. No chance for the Bulldogs to return it. Zarbanicki will have the serve now for Hanover. Claire Zarbanicki brings it across. Here's the pass. Middle hit to the back row. Saved by Hendrickson. Now it's a big hit by Devley. Into net is Pretty Prairie, and the Wildcats get the point. It's 19-14. And starting to get to that first to 20 position. And with some distance between them and Pretty Prairie in the second game, they need it to force a game 3. Here's the pass from Pretty Prairie. They've got to play up at net. Soft block by Losey, saved by Bruna. Zarbanicki to Devley. Yes! And Hanover is first to 20. They lead by 6, 20-14. And another timeout taken by the Bulldogs. Hanover rolling in game 2. They're up 20-14 when we come back.
The Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Center in Manhattan is continually in tune with the latest advances in medical treatments and therapies. One of these is called dry needling. This technique provides a stimulus to muscular trigger points, which leads to favorable biochemical changes. The result? Pain reduction for a variety of issues including neck, back, and shoulder pain, as well as common conditions such as carpal tunnel syndrome and tennis elbow. Visit the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Center in Manhattan. The greatest comebacks begin here.
Lady Wildcats of Hanover lead at 20-14. We're in game number 2. They're down 1-0. South Central, by the way, over Rollins County, 17-10. They're up 1-0, so they're close to maybe making a move to close that opening match out. South Central is the 3 seed, opposite pool. Here's Zarbanicki with the serve. Barely dug out, and now it is pushed out by Pretty Prairie. Hanover leads at 21-14. Zarbanicki will step back to serve again. 5'7" sophomore brings it across into the back row. They'll have a back row setup for Schrag. Tasha Bruna has it up front. Zarbanicki setting for Devley again. 22-14. Macy Devley, all-state basketball player, and obviously can put it away on the volleyball court as well. And now Hanover has stretched the lead to 8. Zarbanicki serve again. Almost mishandled. Now it is put across, but out of bounds. 23-14. Hanover rolling in game 2. They're down 1-0. 2 points away from pushing this to a third game. Here's the pass up front. Middle set. And stuffed across by Losey this time. And it's game point. 24-14. Hanover about to push this to a third and deciding game. After losing the first one 25-23, dominant thus far. Game point is here. Across it comes. Devley to Zarbanicki. The back set up front, Emma Bruna. Near winner up at net. Losey slams it back across. That'll do it. Hanover wins at 25-14, and we will have a game 3 on the way in this opening match of the state championships for the Hanover Wildcats.
B&W Electric in Hanover is your local electrical specialist, and they're ready to meet your residential or commercial needs. They can handle rewiring jobs, installations, new construction, and more. Rest assured, the work will get done right the first time by professionals who know the job. B&W Electric is ready to handle any project that requires a backhoe. Keep them in mind for all your electrical needs and backhoe service. B&W Electric, proud fans and huge supporters of the Hanover Wildcats.
Think of Sapp Brothers of Hanover as your unlimited source of energy. Their business is dedicated to bulk delivery of gasoline, diesel fuel, propane, and oil in Marshall and Washington counties. Sapp Brothers will deliver to homes, businesses, and even wherever you are out in the field. That's pretty important when you're in the middle of an extremely busy season. Call them for a competitive fuel quote and keep them in your contacts list. 337-2446. Sapp Brothers' number again is 337-2446.
night and day to get the crop in. You worry about the weather. You worry about prices. You have repairs to deal with at the worst possible times. It's a lot of work and a lot of worry. But when it's all said and done, you wouldn't trade places with anyone. Making things grow is in your blood. It's in ours, too. We're a community ag bank. Citizens State Bank. Marysville, Waterville, and Hanover. Member FDIC.
For over 65 years, Hanover Electric has served the area with all their electrical, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning needs. They appreciate the support they've received from the local area year after year and the friends they've made along the way. Hanover Electric is proud to welcome new clientele and look forward to many years of working together. They will continue to provide excellent service to the community. Hanover Electric keeps everything running efficiently.
25-14 after a 25-23 game one loss, and Hanover dominates in the second game. And I mean, they got it rolling up front. Debley, Teenick, Losey, all making things happen on that front row. And now they have a one-game tie as they get set for this third and deciding game. They're on the court ready to go. Pretty Prairie still huddled up, and now the team huddles as well on the court, trying to rebound and get themselves steadied after the dominant performance put on by this Lady Wildcat team. Pretty Prairie will have the serve to start. Across it comes, and it's dug out by Tasha Bruna. Here's Debley setting up on the far side for Losey, and it's put back across by Pretty Prairie, and they lead 1-0 to start. Serving for the Wildcats, Haley Keeler. Here's Zarbanicki to Debley. Right back to Claire Zarbanicki with a spike across court. Saved by Pretty Prairie. Now they'll put it across. Debley up near the net. Saved by Zarbanicki. Then barely put across. Well done on the back row by Taylor Cliff. Now the dig by Bruna. Zarbanicki. Far side set. Tiana Losey winds it up, and it's dug out by Pretty Prairie. Now the Bulldogs will send it to the back row. Passed up front again from Cliff. And now the hit by Debley, or by Emma Bruna, I should say, is knocked out of bounds by Pretty Prairie. And it's a 1-1 tie. Game 3, deciding game 3 between these two teams in the opening game at State. Hanover lost game 1 by 2 and then dominant 11-point victory in game number 2. Here's Zarbanicki. Far side setup. Debley, winner cross court, found the angle and put it away. So they will have the lead 2-1. Serve on its way across from Zarbanicki. It's an ace. And Hanover's gone up 3-1 now. She'll serve it across again. Up front, the hit to the back row. That was tipped by Hanover and then out of bounds, so a point to the Bulldogs. Cassidy Keeler with that hit. And that'll give the serve to Hendrickson of Pretty Prairie in this third game. Pass up near net, push back across, and a winner by Keeler. This pass from Hanover went across the tape, and Keeler for the Bulldogs went up and stuffed it away, and it's a 3-3 tie in game number 3. Here's the serve on its way. Pass up front. Zarbanicki to Debley. Yes. No chance for the Bulldogs. Great set from Zarbanicki, and then Debley took care of the rest, planting one on the other side, and they lead by 1, 4-3. In to serve it will be Emily Hendrickson for Hanover. Wildcats are runner-up at State last year. The team that beat them, Centralia, waiting in the wings, watching their TVL rivals, cheering them on here in this first match. Here's the push to the back row by Pretty Prairie. Hendrickson to Zarbanicki to Debley. This time it is into net, and the Wildcats see it tied up at 4 apiece. It will be Keeler to serve it for the Bulldogs. Pass up front from Clip. Zarbanicki, middle set. Heaney to the back row, picked up by the Bulldogs. Now up near net. Heaney stuffs it back in for a point. Kylie Heaney with the point. It's 5-4. Hanover by 1. Deanna Losi will drop back to serve now for the Wildcats. On its way. Here's a far side set. Schrag, big windup, and she puts one home. It's tied again. 5-5. First two games had an odd trend to it, if you will. The Wildcats trailed early, and then Pretty Prairie got ahead of Pretty Prairie by 4. Then the Bulldogs led by 6, and then eventually was tied at 22 before Pretty Prairie won at 25-23. Here's the pass up front. Claire Hendrickson, the pass to Zarbanicki, and setting its open territory is Macy Debley, and it's Hanover's point. They lead again by 1, 6-5. The second game, Hanover tossed up 2 quick points and then stormed ahead and would win it by 11. Here's the pass up near net for Pretty Prairie, and it just rides the tape. Another missed hit that becomes a point for the Bulldogs, and it's tied at 6-6. So those first two games had great runs in them, and then the dominant performance for Hanover in the second finish of the second game, and then this one has been point to point almost. And Hendrickson ran into net before she could try to save the pass that had gone out of bounds. And so Pretty Prairie has a lead of 1. The serve from the Bulldogs. Just clearing tape, and it's an ace. Goes into the scores table, and the diving try from Hendrickson on the back row. And now Hanover trails by 2, 8-6. South Central did win the 3 seed, their matchup with Rollins Counties in 2 games. Hanover here in the third game, down 8-6. Here's a play at net for Zarbanicki. Saved up front and put across by the Bulldogs. Hendrickson to Debley. Back set up front, and Clip got a good hit on it. Now it's saved across. Now stuffed home by Schrag. Hanover tried to go run that down, but ran into the track around the Coliseum before they could get to it, and now a timeout by Hanover. They trailed 9-6 in Game 3 to Pretty Prairie. You're listening to State Championship Volleyball on KCLY.
Having a grocery store is more than just a place to buy food. It's a necessity for any vibrant town. You can't have a thriving community without a place to get great variety of grocery items. Cromie's Market is your local grocer that provides customers with consistency, quality, and value for their everyday needs. From the fresh selection in their meat and bakery departments to household, beauty products, and more, Cromie's Market is proud to be your neighborhood grocery store and proud supporters of the Hanover Wildcats.
Hanover now down in game number 3, 9-6, as the Bulldogs will serve it across. Great dig by Hendrickson. Now the set up front for Heaney. Stuffed across. Picked up by Heaney. Now stuffed back across. Hanover scrambles and stays alive. Debley gets it across to Pretty Prairie. Now the play by Schrag to the back row. A winner. And the Bulldogs have gone up 10-6. By the way, need to pass this along. Play center family physicians. They have no phones right now. They are working on it. I know a lot of problems in the area, it sounds like, for phone and internet. The Clay Center family physicians, no phone. They are working on it back in Clay Center. Here in Hayes, Hanover fighting for the lives in this third game. They're down 10-6. It was tied at 6, and Pretty Prairie's wrapped off 4 straight points. Here's Heaney up front to the back row, just out. It's 11-6 now, and that gives the serve, keeps the serve with the Bulldogs. And right now, Hanover on the ropes down by 6. They were down 6 in game 1 and came back to tie it. Here's outside setup and a missed set. And now 12-6. Hanover trails. Bulldogs with the serve. And across it comes. Here's Losi to Debley. Outside set, Zarbanicki. Good spike, but Schrag got a partial block on it. Now she puts it across. Here's Debley setting it across to the Bulldogs. Here's Schrag again, and that was tipped. That's a point to Pretty Prairie. And now the Hanover Wildcats are down 13-6. And another timeout taken by the Wildcat sideline. You're listening to state championship coverage of Hanover Wildcat Volleyball on 100.9.
Andy's Hardware and Lumber continues to meet the needs of their customers with quality building products, tools, hardware, and customer service. They carry a wide selection of products to give you more choices and more solutions. Whatever you're building or remodeling, you need a reliable source of lumber, windows, doors, and hardware at good competitive prices. When you deal with Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover, you'll always be treated right. They extend good luck wishes to the Hanover Wildcats.
Well, Hanover, with their back against the wall in this third game now, they are down 13-6 and make it 14-6, and that's just a bad break. Out of the timeout, the serve from the Bulldogs caught the tape. It almost hung on and came on the Bulldogs side of the court, but instead rolled over where Hanover just couldn't scramble to get to it. And so they trail by 8 here, 14-6. Here's Debley. Far side, or middle set, I should say, for Hennick. Like somebody in the net, they're going to say Hanover was. I think Hennick's follow-through may have caught the net. I couldn't tell which side was in, but the floor official made the call. And now 15-6, Hanover down by 9. Serve comes across. Zarbanicki to Debley. Hennick has to roll it across to the Bulldogs. Here's a play up front. Outside setup. Hendrickson, saved by Losi. And now miscommunication near the net by Hanover. And they are trailing here 16-6. They won the last game, the second game, by 11 to push it to 3, and now they trail by 10. Serve comes across. Losi to Debley. Outside set, Zarbanicki. Dug out by the Bulldogs. Here's Pretty Prairie up front, Trag. Hendrickson digging it. Now Losi gets to it, but cannot keep it in play. And what a roll for this Pretty Prairie team. They lead 17-6. Hanover's going to rotate in now. They will bring Bailey Leiby in, 5'6" senior. Here on the state championship floor, goes on the front row. The serve, Losi to Debley. She'll set it far side to Zarbanicki. Puts it across. Pretty Prairie, though, with a play at net again. Trag and another point. This team is just hot fire. 18-6. They won the first game 25-23. And then Hanover dominates game 2, 25-14. But right now it's the Bulldogs who own game 3. And another, no, they do keep it, no, was outside the antenna. Macy Debley diving at the, actually moved the chair umpire's chair she stands on. She's got to climb down and move this back into position. Debley, just a great hustle play, banged into that chair trying to get to the volleyball. She did, but her pass went outside the antenna. 19-6. Here's a serve. Hendrickson to Debley. Up near net. It's pushed across the tape on the set and then slammed back home by Pretty Prairie. Haley Keeler, 20-6. Unreal to see Pretty Prairie put this type of performance up against Hanover. And the Wildcats right now just trying to find something. And now we have a violation on rotation. And a point given to Pretty Prairie. It's 21-6. Someone moved before the serve was hit, out of position, evidently. Here's a pass up front now. And it's stuffed across. Bulldogs rolling. Rachel Sherling on the court now for Hanover. She and Leiby coming in here, the two of the seniors on this squad. But right now Hanover in danger of losing that first match. And stuff across. What a save by Debley. And now it's, no, they say a lift on Debley. She made that save. And it is now 23-6. And Haley Keeler has been serving for a long time for Pretty Prairie. That's not good news for Hanover. Serve again. Pass up front, Hendrickson. Middle set. Stuff back. Zarbanicki got a good swing, but Trag was there. And Pretty Prairie has match point at 24-6. Wow. The word's really tough to come by for Hanover. After the performance in the second game, you kind of thought, okay, they've steadied themselves, here we go. And Pretty Prairie has just answered. Here's a play up front. Taylor Clips gets one across, and there's a point for Hanover. It's 24-7. So they fight off one match point. Now rotating in will be Tasha Bruna to serve as Leiby comes off. Bruna serve. Pretty Prairie. Trag takes a hit. Bruna passes up front. Debley, middle set, Zarbanicki. And it's dug out by the Bulldogs. Now a hit to the far corner, and that may be it. It is. The dig goes up into the stands, actually above head. Hanover falls 25-7 in game number 3. What a performance by the Bulldogs. Stay with us. We'll come wrap up this first match, kind of set the stage for the day ahead. Stay with us on KCLY.
The Hanover Hospital and Warren Clinic is ready to protect your family's health care needs. From newborns to seniors and everyone in between, they are committed to delivering high-quality care, addressing the health needs ranging from prevention, checkups, and care of illnesses and injury to maternity and other health conditions. They take pride in those they serve. Join Hanover Hospital and Warren Clinic in cheering on the student-athletes of the community in their academic and sporting events. They're proud of the Hanover Wildcats. Jones Trash Service provides residential and commercial waste pickup in Washington County. Their service is affordable, dependable, and professional. Jones Trash Service also offers roll-off containers to support your special projects. Whether it's renovation, cleanup, roof replacement, or yard clearing, they'll deliver the containers to you when you need it and remove it when your job is complete. Contact them for quotes for home or business trash service if you're not already on their route. Jones Trash Service of Washington.
Cattle producers. Next time you have cattle ready to sell, call Marysville Livestock. The folks at Marysville Livestock join the Hanover volleyball fans in supporting the Hanover Wildcat volleyball team. They send their best wishes as the Lady Wildcats take the court in the Twin Valley League volleyball tournament. To consign your cattle, call the barn at 562-1015. That number again for Marysville Livestock Incorporated is 562-1015.
At Lewis Hybrids, their roots in agriculture run deep. Since 1946, Lewis Hybrids has been helping you reach your profit potential with their innovative products, field-by-field placement decisions, and replant programs. Add their quality seed and personalized customer service, and you have a partner for success. Just like your farm, the Lewis Hybrids and Shale Seed has continued to grow and evolve, one field at a time. Contact your Lewis dealer in Hanover, Roger Shale, 785-713-2336.
Well, the Hanover Wildcats, I said the first game had a strange feel to it when they fell behind by 4, or led by 4 early, 8-4. Then they fell behind by 6, 19-13. Then they tied it at 22, and then lost a 23-25 opening game. And then came back in game number 2 and just dominated. I mean, they owned the second game, 25-14, only to see Prairie come back and really return the favor in a 25-7 Game 3. There was a look late in that match, that third game, on Hanover's faces that was like, what is going on here? And it was just an odd game, such a competitive group and talented group to see a game get away from them in that direction. Now, it doesn't mean the weekend's over, but certainly they put their backs against the wall. They have 2 more matches coming up. They'll have some time to regroup and refocus and kind of get that maybe washed away in this third game that lost the opening match for them. Their next matchup will be scheduled for 11:30 this morning, and that's against the Centralia Panthers, who are about to take the court for the first time here in the state championship. Their match coming up against Lebo. Centralia is the defending champs, and they are the number 1 seed coming in, just 1 loss on the season. And that'll be Hanover's matchup at 11:30, and then they'll have the 8-seed Lebo following that match immediately at 12:30. Those are the scheduled start times. Right now they're a little behind schedule, but some of those matches will go 2 games, and that'll catch them back up, or they may be a little bit behind. So it gives you an idea when that'll be coming up here on KCLY. We'll join you. I'll keep you posted on the social media, on our website, on the game times as they're getting close to those, and kind of have an idea when they will start, and then we'll bring you back on the air when Hanover's set to go. Again, they lose in 3 games, 23-25, 25-14, 7-25 to Prairie, 0-1 in their pool. And they will take on Centralia, scheduled to go at 11:30 this morning. For Bryce Dolan, Rocky Downing, our studio engineer, Bernie Fancella, we'll see you again here at Gross Memorial Coliseum. And once again, we say good morning from the state championships in high school volleyball. 1A Division I is underway, well underway at this point of the day, as the Hanover Lady Wildcats, coming off a first match loss to Prairie, now meets up with an old friend, maybe we should say rival, the Centralia Panthers, defending state champions, and the Hanover Wildcats, who were runners-up against Centralia last year in the state championship final, will meet up here in pool play. Now, they met in pool play last year, and Hanover pulled off the upset against Centralia before the Panthers came back and won the state championship. Hanover kind of needs that type of performance in this second match of the day after their 3-game loss to Prairie earlier this morning. Centralia has won their first match against Lebo. They won it in straight sets, 25-15, 25-18. Prairie has gone to 2-0. They took care of Lebo. Lebo is 0-2, and now Hanover plays their second match. They are 0-1 on the day, so obviously needing to get themselves back in the win column, especially against Centralia. They can hand them their first loss and even them up both at 1-1. Then the door is wide open for making it into Saturday. So that's where we sit as we get set for the second match of the day for Hanover, the Lady Wildcats against the defending champion Centralia Panthers. Stay with us. Coverage of state championship volleyball with the Hanover Wildcats will continue in just a moment.
Andy's Hardware and Lumber continues to meet the needs of their customers with quality building products, tools, hardware, and customer service. They carry a wide selection of products to give you more choices and more solutions. Whatever you're building or remodeling, you need a reliable source of lumber, windows, doors, and hardware at good competitive prices. When you deal with Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover, you'll always be treated right. They extend good luck wishes to the Hanover Wildcats. The Hanover Hospital and Warren Clinic is ready to protect your family's health care needs. From newborns to seniors and everyone in between, they are committed to delivering high-quality care, addressing the health needs ranging from prevention, checkups, and care of illnesses and injury to maternity and other health conditions. They take pride in those they serve. Join Hanover Hospital and Warren Clinic in cheering on the student-athletes of the community in their academic and sporting events. They're proud of the Hanover Wildcats.
Hanover Lady Wildcat Volleyball here on KCLY State Championship action. Again, they lost their first one in 3 games. It was a weird match in all reality. They lost the first one 23-25, very tight game, back and forth. Both had leads. And then the second game, it was all Hanover. They won at 25-14, and then tied at 6 in Game 3. It had the feeling it was going to be one of those thrillers that came right down to the final point, and all of a sudden, Prairie wrapped off 18 straight points and won at 25-7. Actually, I guess they did give up 1 point to Hanover in that mix, but just a crazy finish to that game for Hanover to see it roll in that direction. Now they turn around and have to face the defending champions, Centralia Panthers, but obviously a team they know very well. Centralia comes in 39-1, the number 1 seed in this tournament, defending champions. Their only loss this year coming to the Valley Heights Lady Mustangs, and we know how good they are. They're traveling to Emporia's White Auditorium. They will play the afternoon, 4:30, 5:30, 7:30. We'll keep you posted on those scores. We wish we could be in all locations, but just can't make those things happen all the time. But they've got a great chance to make a run there in Class 2A at White Auditorium there in Emporia. Here it's the Hanover Lady Wildcats getting set to face off against their old TVL rival, the Centralia Panthers. This will be a great matchup. Centralia did have them during the regular season, but they won the matchups last year in the regular season, and then Hanover pulled the upset off, as we mentioned, in pool play. That got them into the semifinals, and then they both met up for the championship last year. Centralia coming away with that victory. Centralia, the story of this team and the history of this team is well documented. 26 trips they've made into the state championship, this being their 27th trip over the program's history. 8 state championship titles. They had a run of several in a row. 13 state titles. They won 8 in a row at one time. So they have been a team that knows all about being here at the state championships. Hanover back for the second straight year, and they'll have the serve to start. It'll be Claire Zarbanicki who will serve it for the Hanover Wildcats. Macy Debley, Tiana Losi up front, along with Emma Bruna. And then you have Zarbanicki serving. Tasha Bruna is the libero. She's on the back row along with Henriksen. Here's the play up front. Centralia early hit across. Not a big swipe at it. Now Debley does get a good hit, but it's long. And 1-0. Centralia has the lead. It will be back to serve for the Panthers. Katie Elliott, 5'10" junior. She stands to the far left side of the backcourt. Serve comes across. Pass up front. Clip Zarbanicki now to Debley, and there's a point, and she hammers one across on Parker Bowers, who tried to dig it out, and took one right on the chin that time. She's laughing it off with her teammates, but really hung in there trying to make the dig on it. And you can see Debley and Enoch getting a little chuckle out of it as well as the two teams kind of look back and forth at each other after that big-time hit by Debley. Here's the serve from Hendrickson. It is passed back, now up front. Luger with the shot across, picked up by Hendrickson. The set from Zarbanicki. Debley again goes cross court. It's brought back across to Hanover's side of the floor. Once again, the set for Debley. Spike on its way, back row dugout, now pushed across by Centralia. Another chance here. Zarbanicki goes behind her this time. The hit across from Losi, picked up again by Centralia. Now the hit from Centralia. Zarbanicki. Losi, forearm set to the middle. Heenick puts it across. Back up near net and stuffed home by Heenick. And Hanover with the point. And they will lead it here early against Centralia. Hendrickson back to serve it again. 2-1, Hanover with the advantage. Serve across. Pass up front for Centralia. They set it for Luger. Back row, and it gets by the back row defense of Hanover. Taylor Clipp and Hendrickson both in the area. Clipp made a play on it, but just no chance to come up with it. Blistered across by Centralia, and it's a tie at 2. Katie Glatzak will step back to serve it now for the Lady Panthers. And the serve across, short one. Losi digs it out up near the net. It's an ace for Glatzak. And so 3-2, it's Centralia the lead by 1. Hanover stands defensively waiting the service. Again, a dipping serve that's dug out, pushed across by Zarbanicki. A play here for Centralia up at the net. Luger winds it up, goes cross court, and now it's 4-2. Centralia the early 2-point lead. Katie Glatzak will keep the service. Hanover lost their first match in 3. They lost the first game of that match, then came back and won by 11, and then lost by a 25-7 score. Here's the serve again from Glatzak. Here's a play up front. Debley winds it up and puts it away. Hanover cuts the lead to 1, and will have service back for Tiana Losi. Losi and Zarbanicki and Hendrickson on the back row. Clipp, Heenick, and Debley up front for Hanover. Here's the set far side, and the spike goes long this time by the Panthers' Megan Cook. And it's tied up now at 4-apiece, game 1. Losi with a serve. Pass up front. It's set far side, left hand, stuffed back across by Debley, and a point. Hanover takes the lead back at 5-4. Losi will continue to serve. 5'9" sophomore brings it across. Now the play up front, Centralia, big hit on the way, and it's put away by the Panthers' outside hitter. 5'11" junior, Madison Luger. And that will tie the score again at 5 now. To serve it, Morgan Kramer, the Panther libero. And the serve goes to the back row, pushed up front. Debley's going to set it in the middle for Heenick. Kramer passes up front, and a miss hit gets across the net for Centralia. Now it's Clipp at the net with a play, and it goes into tape. Had Luger right in her face there, and the spike goes at the tape and onto the Hanover side of the floor, and they will trail now 6-5. The serve from Kramer. Losi to Zarbanicki. Far side set to Debley. Sets it across. It's picked up by the Panthers. Now the spike to the back row. Point Centralia. And the Lady Wildcats down by 2, 7-5. Just game 1 of the second match of the day. We'll have one more immediately following this match. Hanover turns right around and plays Lebo. They lost their first one in 3 to Pretty Prairie. Here's Debley. Winds it up and winds it up again and puts this one away. The first one was dug out pretty nicely on the back row by Centralia's Jenry Conley, but her dig went right back above the net, and Debley was there to slam that one back home. Now Debley with the serve. Glatzak passes up front. Outside set. Luger, cross court, and winner. It's in. 8-6. Centralia the lead by 2. We're in the opening game of the second match of the day for the Wildcats. Luger is back to serve it for Centralia. Cross it comes. Passed up Hendrickson to Debley, set for Zarbanicki, and she's got a winner. And it's a 1-point game, 8-7. Player Zarbanicki plants one away for the Wildcats. Tasha Bruna, the Wildcat libero, in to serve. Also, Emma Bruna rotates in on the front row. The pass up front. Here's a set for Bowers. Far side set up for Elliott. Across it comes. Bruna has it. Now Debley. Her set goes across tape. It's smacked across, but now Debley sets it across, trying to find open court. Couldn't find it. Now the spike across and good by the Panthers' Kennedy Becker. 5'10" sophomore got a good hit at it and found the point on the backside. It's now 9-7. Centralia leads your Hanover Wildcats 9-7 by 2. To serve for the Panthers, Beth Steinlage. Here's the pass up front. Debley, middle set. Zarbanicki almost got the point. Now it is a scramble, and Centralia does keep it alive. Debley again, back set. This time Clip. And it will find open court. Caught the net, kind of bounced the timing off of Centralia up in the air, and then found the floor. And so it's 9-8. Centralia trails by 1, and Clip will serve it for the Wildcats. Debley, Losi, Bruna, Zarbanicki up near the front row. The serve across from Clip. Here's Elliott, and she finds a winner right in the middle of the floor. And it's 10-8, Centralia by 2, game 1. Back to serve will be Becker. Hanover, Centralia know each other so well. Here's the serve from the Panthers. Bruna up front to Debley. Losi with a hit, and the winner for Hanover. It's now 10-9. Wildcats trail by 1. So the sophomore, Losi, gets one through, and Zarbanicki will serve it. Bowers to Glatzak. Outside hit on its way to the back row, picked up there by Clip. Here's Zarbanicki. Set for Debley, winds it up, goes cross court. It is dug out, and now a play at net for Centralia. Good dig by Clip to Bruna. Forearm pass up front, set across the net by Losi. Now again, the outside hit coming from Megan Cook. Back across it comes Debley. Fires one, almost with the win. Pretty good dig by Luger on the back row. They bump it across. That's a good chance here for Hanover. Far side set, Debley one more time. Yes on this one, and it ties it at 10. AC Debley coming up big for Hanover. Ties it 10 apiece. Zarbanicki will continue with the serve. And it is going to be Centralia. Outside play across from Cook again. And now it's put across to Debley. One more time, soft spike across. And Centralia's got to play Elliott at net. Back rows. Zarbanicki keeps it alive, but then the next hit, a diving attempt from both Losi and Bruna, unable to get to it. Centralia now leads by 1, 11-10. Elliott is back to serve. Here's Bruna. Zarbanicki. Outside hit for Debley again, but it's stuffed back across this time by Megan Cook, 5'11" junior. 2-point lead now for Centralia. Elliott back to serve it. Kate Elliott, a 5'10" junior. Just 4 seniors on the Centralia team, and it's an ace. And just unfortunate, again, it catches the tape almost like a slingshot, except in slinging it back, it just kind of held it long enough to barely dribble over the net. And a point to Centralia. They lead now by 3. Here's the pass from Clip up front. Zarbanicki, middle hit, Losi. Soft block, and then picked up on the pass for Luger. And her spike to the back row is in, and now Hanover trails 14-10. Again, Pretty Prairie has a 2-0 mark. Centralia 1-0. Hanover 0-1. Timeout on the floor. You're listening to State Championship Volleyball on KCLY.
Jones Trash Service provides residential and commercial waste pickup in Washington County. Their service is affordable, dependable, and professional. Jones Trash Service also offers roll-off containers to support your special projects. Whether it's renovation, cleanup, roof replacement, or yard clearing, they'll deliver the containers to you when you need it and remove it when your job is complete. Contact them for quotes for home or business trash service if you're not already on their route. Jones Trash Service of Washington.
Hanover trails 14-10. Centralia with the serve across. Tasha Bruna, great dig. It goes across the net. Centralia play up front for Luger. Goes to the back row. Good dig by Bruna again. Zarbanicki, forearm set. Debley, the spike across. Picked up on the back row by Kramer. One more time. Luger goes deep. And it's a point to Hanover off the timeout. 14-11, down by 3. Game 1 against the Centralia Panthers. I was kind of giving you a breakdown of the pool play thus far. Lebo and Hanover 0-1. Pretty Prairie 2-0, and Centralia 1-0. So obviously pivotal match for the Hanover Wildcats and for Centralia for that matter. Here's Centralia play up in net is set across. Chance here for Hanover. Losey to Debley. Lines up and plants one on the other side. It's 14-12. And the Hanover Wildcats down by 2. And with the service for Hendrickson. Emily, a 5'5" sophomore. Set to work. Serve across. Pass up front. Gladsack sets it across. Here's Arbanicki to Heaney. Debley, another winner. And you've got a 1-point game here in this opening game of the match. 14-13. And Hanover keeps serve. Hendrickson will stay with that service. Gets the whistle, brings it across, barely clearing tape. Now it's Gladsack. Outside hit for the Panthers to the back row and long. We're tied. Hanover fell behind by 3 and now have tied it up at 14-14. Hendrickson again with that serve. Some spin that time going from right to left. Set across. What a dig from the back row by Clip, I should say. Now another hit. Clip again with the dig. Debley near the net, able to save it, and Zarbanicki gets it across. 2 big scrambles by Hanover. Another play at net, back row. This time it's Zarbanicki digging it, and it's Clip keeping it alive, and Debley gets it across. Centralia, one more chance at net, pushed across. Here's a chance for Hanover. Up at net, Debley winds up. Dug out this time by Kramer for the Panthers. One more time at net. Loger goes deep. No, goes in. And a 15-14 Centralia lead. What a rally from both squads. Centralia looked like 2 or 3 different times they were going to lose the point. And they just kept making Centralia make plays. But the Panthers do come up with the point. Gladsack to serve. 15-14. Hanover down by 1. Clip the dig, the stuff across. Her pass went up to the net. And Centralia able to stuff it back home. 16-14 now. The Wildcats down by 2. Gladsack will again serve it. And serves into net. And a look of bewilderment on her face. We know how talented she is in the TVL on both the basketball floor and here in volleyball. And a free point to Hanover. Serve from Losey. Pass up front. And now it's rolled across. Wildcats have a chance. Clip to Zarbanicki. Back set. Debley. And another winner. And this ties it up at 16. Boy, Hanover digging deep after the loss in the first match, 25-7 in Game 3, and now with the number 1 seed Centralia Panthers, they have it tied 16 apiece in Game 1. Soft block up front keeps it alive by Heaney, then to Clip, then Zarbanicki, the set across by Debley. Outside hit again is just pushed across. Clip has to save it, though, as it was put behind her, and she was able to dig it out. Now the hit partially blocked by Heaney, but goes in on the Hanover side of the floor, and they'll trail again by 1, 17-16. Kramer to serve. Hanover down 1, first game. Panther serve across. Hendrickson to Zarbanicki. Here's Clip at net, and it goes long, no touch on it. And Centralia leads by 2 now, 18-16. Kramer will have the serve once more. 2 rich traditions in high school girls sports and high school sports overall, Hanover and Centralia. And now a point, the Wildcats just didn't realize the opening pass was going near the sideline, and Coach Losey wants the timeout. 19-16, Hanover down by 3. Game 1 here at the state championships returns on KCLY.
Cattle producers. Next time you have cattle ready to sell, call Marysville Livestock. The folks at Marysville Livestock join the Hanover volleyball fans in supporting the Hanover Wildcat volleyball team. They send their best wishes as the Lady Wildcats take the court in the Twin Valley League volleyball tournament. To consign your cattle, call the barn at 562-1015. That number again for Marysville Livestock Incorporated is 562-1015.
To serve it is Kramer for Centralia. The Wildcats had it tied at 16, now trail by 3. Debley started to set it, then last second swatted across. Centralia picks it up. Play up front for Cook. Here is Debley, set for Clip. Soft spike to the back row. Kramer picks it up. Now the outside hit for Loger on the way across. Good dig by Zarbanicki. Debley to Clip again. spikes it back row, and a winner for the Wildcats, cuts the lead down to 2. Taylor Clip wisely over the top of the blocker's hands. Not a real wind-up and spike, but that soft spike to the back row, and gives the Wildcats the point. They trail by 2. Here's a play up at net. Oh, what a dig back row low. See, but Hanover were able to get to it where they run out of real estate right in front of us. Arbenicki and Hendrickson both coming at the net and just couldn't get to it before that netting that separates the courts here. They ran out of room. Great effort, though, by Losi on that initial hit. 20-17, Hanover down by 3. Oh, what a serve coming across from Madison Loger. And that will put the lead at 21-17. Hanover trails by 4 here in game 1. In for the Wildcats, Rachel Sherling on the back row. Senior for Hanover. The serve. Pass up front, goes across net. Centralia's got a play up front. Elliott pushes it across. Here's Arbenicki to Debley. Back set, Clip. Her spike to the back row, dug out by Centralia. Now the Panthers up front. Great effort from Sherling, but again, much like the last play, just running out of room. Great hustle effort, caught up in that netting we were talking about is Hendrickson. And, Arbenicki's had, 230-some assists on a 600 assist for Hanover. She just gave an assist there without touching the volleyball to her teammate, getting her out of the net. But Hanover gets an ace service, 23-17. So nearing that dangerous point, 23-17, down by 6. Serve across. And, what an effort by Clip. Falling down on the sideline, she still kept it in play. Centralia up front, partially blocked by Henig. Dug by Hendrickson. Here's Arbenicki at net. Blocked back across and a point in for Centralia. 24-17. The Panthers have game point in this first game of the match. Taylor Clip went over into the sideline, got caught up with a chair, still made the play while falling to the ground with nothing to brace her. Now the dig by Hendrickson off the serve up front. Arbenicki, left-handed spike, almost got it in. It will be saved by the Panthers. Now there's a chance. Debley, Clip, middle set, Henig to the back row. Panthers dig it out. Now the play up front. Koch with the shot. It's dug out by the Wildcats and rolled across there by Clip. Gladsack, the set to Elliott. And stuffed across by Hanover. Point to the Wildcats. They're down 24-18. They fend off 1 game point. Tasha Bruno will step in to serve. Emma Bruno rotates in on the front row. Arbenicki and Clip up there. And the serve goes long in game 1 to Centralia. It is a 25-18 final. Stay with us. Hanover Wildcats State Championship Volleyball will continue next.
At Lewis Hybrids, their roots in agriculture run deep. Since 1946, Lewis Hybrids has been helping you reach your profit potential with their innovative products, field-by-field placement decisions, and replant programs. Add their quality seed and personalized customer service, and you have a partner for success. Just like your farm, the Lewis Hybrids and Shale Seed has continued to grow and evolve, one field at a time. Contact your Lewis dealer in Hanover, Roger Shale, 785-713-2336.
R.L. Juniman knows how to prepare your site for a variety of uses. Ron and his crew have the experience and the equipment to make sure your project is completed on time. From clearing timber, building terraces, land leveling, and site demolition, they're the ones to call. If your project calls for new construction, they offer all the ground prep work so you have a clean slate to work on. If it takes dozers, excavators, graders, rollers, and dump trucks, they can handle any job. R.L. Juniman Construction of Hanover.
B&W Electric in Hanover is your local electrical specialist, and they're ready to meet your residential or commercial needs. They can handle rewiring jobs, installations, new construction, and more. Rest assured, the work will get done right the first time by professionals who know the job. B&W Electric is ready to handle any project that requires a backhoe. Keep them in mind for all your electrical needs and backhoe service. B&W Electric, proud fans and huge supporters of the Hanover Wildcats.
Think of Sapp Brothers of Hanover as your unlimited source of energy. Their business is dedicated to bulk delivery of gasoline, diesel fuel, propane, and oil in Marshall and Washington counties. Sapp Brothers will deliver to homes, businesses, and even wherever you are out in the field. That's pretty important when you're in the middle of an extremely busy season. Call them for a competitive fuel quote and keep them in your contacts list. 337-2446. Sapp Brothers' number again is 337-2446.
Game 2, Hanover Wildcats play up in net. Zarbanicki to Losi. Back row save by Kramer. Now Luger has it up front, and there's a point to Centralia. They won game 1, 25-18. Hanover has to win this match to have a chance to advance to tomorrow's semifinals. If Centralia wins it, that puts two teams with 2 wins, and they'll be the 2 teams to advance to tomorrow. So Hanover has to have this match. Losi into net. And they're down 2-0. Centralia will have the serve. Kate Elliott with that service. Hanover had it tied at 16-16. There's a big hit by Zarbanicki, then a stuff across by Losi, but Centralia digs both out. Now they get a hit across. Great dig on the back row by Clip, a diving get. Now up front, Debley pushes it across. Glatsack to Bowers. Here's Loger with a shot. What a dig from Debley this time, as Hanover playing some great defense to stay alive. Another get. And correction, we've got Hanover, they stay into the nets, and a point to Centralia. So the Panthers out to an early 3-0 start in the second game. Serve across. Oh, great dig again by Clip. Now the hit up front, blocked across. Zarbanicki went up against Loger that time, and she was able to put it away. So a 25-18 game 1 loss for Hanover, and they are trailing 4-0 to begin the second game. Elliott serve. Bruna to Debley. Middle set, Zarbanicki. Goes to the back row with it. Gladsack has it. Now on the outside, the hit by Centralia. Oh, again, Hanover playing terrific defense, but unable to keep it in play. That first dig, though, right on the sideline was a big-time effort for Hanover. But they trail 5-0. A timeout by the Wildcats. Again, you're listening to Hanover Wildcat State Championship Volleyball on KCLY.
You work night and day to get the crop in. You worry about the weather. You worry about prices. You have repairs to deal with at the worst possible times. It's a lot of work and a lot of worry. But when it's all said and done, you wouldn't trade places with anyone. Making things grow is in your blood. It's in ours, too. We're a community ag bank. Citizen State Bank. Marysville, Waterville, and Hanover. Member FDIC.
Back again in Hayes, Fort Hays State University. Centralia out to a 5-0 start, up 1-0. Hanover needed to make something happen. They roll it across. Elliott to Glatsack. The set on the far side, a wind-up, Steinloggy with the hit, dug out again by Cliff on the back row. Now the push across by Bailey Lybian for Hanover. And a play up front, good dig again on the outside by Losi, and then a push across by Zarbanicki. But again, a play at net for Centralia. Cliff again diving out of nowhere to keep it alive, and Hanover stays in the point. Centralia getting big-time hits, and Hanover keeping it alive. Now they hit the antenna, and it pays off, those efforts by the Hanover Wildcats defensively. They're down 5-1 and down 1-0, but not for lack of energy and effort in this matchup against the Panthers. Zarbanicki will serve it. Dug out by Kramer. Now again, Luger with the shot. Tasha Bruna, what a dig, and a pass up front. Zarbanicki for Debley, but it's stuffed home by Megan Cook, and it will be Centralia with a point. They lead at 6-1. Glatsack will serve. Hanover in a must-win to advance to tomorrow's semifinals, or have that chance anyway. Debley, good swing, but dug out by Kramer. Once again, the hit up front. Centralia with the points. They lead at 7-1 right now. Hanover Wildcats' second straight trip to the state championships. They beat Washington County in the finals of sub-state to get here. TVL just loaded as always. And there's a stuff up front. Great dig by Leiby of Hanover. Now cross-court winner by the Centralia Panthers up front, and they're up 8-1. Hanover can't defend a whole lot better than what they're playing right now. Centralia is just shooting bullets, and Hanover somehow dodging them. With the 8-1, Centralia the lead. Once again up near net. Just touched across this time. Zarbanicki gets it. Middle set for Debley. Off balance, keeps it alive. Zarbanicki now back at net again. Stuffed across. Here's a play up front for Luger, and she puts another one down. Madison Luger with the play at net right now has been pretty dominant. In the first match when they won in straight sets against Lebo, and in this second game, they have really got the timing down. Here's the serve from Glatsack. The pass to Zarbanicki. Outside hit, Debley. There's one fired home for the Wildcats. They are down 9-2. Hanover will get service back with the point scored. Centralia, defending champs, number 1 seed, 39-1 on the season. As mentioned, their only loss this year to the Valley Heights Lady Mustangs that allowed a share of the TVL crown this season. Mustangs are playing in Emporium 2A state championship volleyball today and tonight. Here's a play up net. Debley to Losi. Picked up by Bowers. Once again, the play up front, a good one across for Centralia. They are up 10-2. And Madison Luger with the hit again. Kramer to serve. And Losi up front, Zarbanicki, middle set, Heenig. Spike, soft block by Centralia. Now Glatsack to Bowers. Set across. Here's Zarbanicki. Losi across court to Debley, and just out, initially called in, but we were right here on the line, and it was just out for Debley and the Hanover Wildcats, and they're going to trail 11-2 now. Kramer will serve. Down 1-0. Losi, Zarbanicki. Now the set for Heenig, and it goes long. 12-2, Centralia leading. Pretty Prairie handles Lebo in straight sets. Centralia, their first match was against Lebo in straight sets. Right now, Hanover's playing for their playoff lives to stay alive, or a chance to stay alive through tomorrow. But down big in this second, and now another winner by Luger up front, and it's 13-2, Centralia leading. The Panthers in a rhythm that is hard to explain. Here is Kramer. Pass up front from Hendrickson to Zarbanicki. Outside hit. Debley fires one away and makes it 13-3. So the Wildcats get served back. They will rotate Rachel Sherling in to serve for the Wildcats. Hendrickson, Zarbanicki on the back row. Sherling serve across. The set up front for Centralia. There's a chance for the Wildcats. Hendrickson to Debley. Middle hit. Heenig with the winner. And it's 13-4. Hanover down by 9, but a couple of straight points trying to make a move here. And again, it's the senior Rachel Sherling to serve. Blisters one across. Picked up, though, by the Panthers. Outside hit. Left-handed this time. Up front, Zarbanicki. The set for Clip. And it's blocked out of bounds. Point to Hanover. And now it's 13-5. So down 8, but making a move here in this game 2 as Hanover trails 1-0. They still have a match against Lebo as well coming up. Here's an outside hit for the Panthers. Sherling, good dig, but her pass goes right up to the tape and no chance for Hanover to keep that one alive. It's 14-5. And Madison Luger will serve it for Centralia. Hanover 29-11 on the season, a 5 seed here at state. Runner-up at the state championships last year. Debley across, Clip. And the second straight winner for Taylor Clip. They were both blocked, but both out of bounds. She had some heat on it, and it's 14-6. Hanover down by 8. Macy Debley will serve it. Pass up front for Centralia. Elliott with the hit at net, and that was tipped, point to the Panthers, and they will lead it 15-6 up by 9. One more match in this Friday pool play for Hanover. That'll be immediately following this one. And then Axtell will take the floor this afternoon at 4:30, 5:30, and again at 7:30. Debley, far side set. Wind up and hit by Zarbanicki. Centralia's got a play up front for Elliott. Soft spike across. It's Zarbanicki to Clip, who's been hot here lately, and she's got another one. Centralia trying to say it hit the antenna. The officials say no, it's a point to the Wildcats. And Taylor Clip on a roll right now. That was on the right side. She had those two winners blocked out of bounds on the left side of the court. It's 15-7. Hanover down by 8. Tasha Bruna in to serve. Bruna waits for the whistle and gets it. Now steps into that serve and brings it across. Here's Glatsack. The set for Elliott. Cross court and saved and dug by Clip. Now up front, Taylor with a set across. Centralia with an outside hit on its way, and good for Megan Cook. 16-7. And Cook, who has the big hit, will step to the back row to serve. No, correction, that is actually Kennedy Becker serving. Becker will serve it. Centralia leads Hanover 16-7, game 2. Tasha Bruna, good dig. Here's Devley up front. Clip again. This time saved by Centralia. Now Cook with the hits. What a dig by Sherling. And Hanover stays alive as Bailey Leiby gets it across. Now set up front again for the Panthers. Bruna, one-handed dig to Devley. Then put across by Zarbanicki. Now Centralia. Elliott. Outside right finds a winner. It is now 17-7. Panthers lead. They are up 1-0. The serve again for Becker. And dug by Bruna, but it just kind of fluttered off to the right. Clip dove in there trying to keep at it. Point to Centralia. Timeout taken by the Hanover Wildcats. It's an 18-7. Centralia lead here in Game 2. You're listening to Hanover Wildcat Volleyball on KCLY.
For over 65 years, Hanover Electric has served the area with all their electrical, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning needs. They appreciate the support they've received from the local area year after year and the friends they've made along the way. Hanover Electric is proud to welcome new clientele and look forward to many years of working together. They will continue to provide excellent service to the community. Hanover Electric keeps everything running efficiently.
Hanover out of the timeout with a set up front for Taylor Clip. Goes cross court and another winner for Clip up front. It's going to be 18-8. Centralia does lead it by 10 here in game number 2. Wildcats will get the serve, though. Clip back to serve it. And the serve across. Pass up front. Here's Glatsack. Outside set. And saved by Losi. Zarbanicki sets it to the back row of Centralia. Now up front again. To the net. Big hit on the way and put away by Megan Cook. And now it's 19-8 Centralia. Panthers trying to get their 40th win against just one loss. Hanover trying to find a way to dig deep here and stay alive. Serve across from Elliott up near the net. Pushed across, now saved by Zarbanicki. Centralia will have a hit. Luger up front, blocked, but into net by Leiby and Zarbanicki. And now 20-8, Centralia the lead. And the serve coming from Kate Elliott of the Panthers. Bruna up front, here's Devley. Jump set, and into net, they say, was the Wildcats. Definitely can't believe it. But it'll be point to Centralia. Now they're up 21-8. On its way. And it's blocked back across. Good hit by Zarbanicki, but all the defense of Hanover sucked up near the net, and the block found open court, and it's 22-8 now. Elliott again to serve. Pass from Clip up front. Here's Devley. Outside set for Losi. Centralia scrambling. Now a play up front. Little left-handed spike across. Losi with a wind-up and hit, but it's dug out by Elliott on the back row. Now back up front. Pushed across by Centralia. Tasha Bruna gets it. Backside set. Bailey Leiby. Point good. She went up against Luger and is able to get the block to go in the net. Leiby with the point, but 22-9. Centralia leads it in this second game. Hanover trailing 1-0. Zarbanicki to serve. To Centralia, up near net. It's an ace for Zarbanicki. 22-10. Can Hanover make a run here? Down by 12, game 2. Glassack steps up front. Luger with the hit, and it goes into net on the block by Losi and Leiby that time, and it's 23-10. Centralia leads it by 13. Rotating in for the Panthers. They will bring in Ashlyn Thunderhawk. She is one of the Panther seniors, getting a chance to get on the state championship court. Devley at the net, couldn't get it across on the big swing, kind of falling to her left, and now it's match point as Centralia will rotate in a new server. They'll bring into the game Gracie Dieters, another Panther senior on the floor, and also in will be Tamara Jones, a 5'9" junior who will play up on the front row. Match point for Centralia. Clip. Tasha Bruna keeps it alive. It's rolled across. Here's a play up front. Panthers set to the outside. Spike across, and a winner put in by Jones. And that's going to do it in a 25-10 final. Hanover falls in straight games to the number 1 seed and defending champions Centralia Panthers, 18-25, 10-25. Stay with us. More coverage from the state championships coming up in just a moment.
Having a grocery store is more than just a place to buy food. It's a necessity for any vibrant town. You can't have a thriving community without a place to get great variety of grocery items. Crowley's Market is your local grocer that provides customers with consistency, quality, and value for their everyday needs. From the fresh selection in their meat and bakery departments to household, beauty products, and more, Crowley's Market is proud to be your neighborhood grocery store and proud supporters of the Hanover Wildcats. Andy's Hardware and Lumber continues to meet the needs of their customers with quality building products, tools, hardware, and customer service. They carry a wide selection of products to give you more choices and more solutions. Whatever you're building or remodeling, you need a reliable source of lumber, windows, doors, and hardware at good competitive prices. When you deal with Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover, you'll always be treated right. They extend good luck wishes to the Hanover Wildcats.
Hanover Wildcats realization setting in. You can kind of see the team on the sideline talking with their head coach, Kim Losi. They realize now the chance to play tomorrow in the semifinals is out of their hands. 0-2, and with two win teams, obviously Pretty Prairie and Centralia are going to be the 2 teams vying for the 1 and 2 seeds coming out of this pool. So Hanover has one more match coming up. Now, Lebo still got a lot to play for, because if they could somehow win out against Hanover and then against Centralia, then they're in the mix with 2 wins. But Hanover will get one last chance to take the floor here this season before they wrap up their year and get a chance to play for a little pride here in the final match of their state championship run that has now seen them fall in the first 2 matches. 3 games in the first one, a great back-and-forth match before that third game when Pretty Prairie got going. And in this one, it was tied 16 in the first game, and then Centralia kind of got it rolling 25-18, and in that second game, really, the Panthers just dominant and had all the rhythm on their end, and Hanover really trying to swim upstream and just couldn't get back in that thing and loses at 10-25. So Hanover 0-2 on the day. They have one more match for this year to play, and I know that the message from Coach Losi, I'm sure, was that let's go out on a winning note. Not many get a chance to win their final match of the year. They get that chance. It will be their final match. We'll have it for you live here on KCLY. Bryce Dolan will have the call for you coming up in just a little bit. Don't forget Axel, also on the air, coming up at 4:30, 5:30, and 7:30. We will certainly keep you up to date on those Valley Heights Mustangs in 2A. A real chance for them to make a move, I believe, in Emporia at the White Auditorium in Class 2A. We'll keep you posted on that scoring. And Tiger football on the air tonight. Clay Center will be hosting Smoky Valley for a district championship. A big state championship and playoff weekend. State cross country as well on the way tomorrow morning. That wraps it up for right now. Just a few minutes from bringing you right back here with Bryce Dolan and the call on the Hanover Wildcats when they take on Lebo in their final match of the season. For our studio engineer, this is Bernie Fancella. This is Rocky Downing. Bryce Dolan will be back with you with that next match in just a bit.
Hello, everyone. Bryce Dolan here, and your 1A Division I state volleyball tournament here in Hayes at the Gross Memorial Coliseum. Today we say sayonara to Rocky Downing as he heads out back east to cover some Clay Center Tiger football tonight as they play for the district championship against Smoky Valley. That matchup determines whether Clay Center Tigers will either host or travel. But besides that, we're watching some volleyball today. We have Hanover and Lebo about to set off here at the Gross Memorial Coliseum. And unfortunately, Hanover, dropping their first two matches, are playing for a high note right now. And that's also the story for Lebo. Earlier in the day, Centralia sweeping their first two games. And Hanover putting up a fight, but just could not get it done. Hanover and Centralia just finished up. Centralia taking that match 25-18 and 25-10 in the two sets. And then Lebo dropping the match just before that to Prairie, 25-18 and 25-16. So that puts Lebo and Hanover both at 0-2 on the day here at the state tournament. So right now, Hanover and Lebo are getting set to take the court and end their seasons on a high note. And then the teams are huddled up at their benches right now, and as soon as we get back, we will get this Pride match underway here at the Gross Memorial Coliseum. You're listening to KCLY.
B&W Electric in Hanover is your local electrical specialist, and they're ready to meet your residential or commercial needs. They can handle rewiring jobs, installations, new construction, and more. Rest assured, the work will get done right the first time by professionals who know the job. B&W Electric is ready to handle any project that requires a backhoe. Keep them in mind for all your electrical needs and backhoe service. B&W Electric, proud fans and huge supporters of the Hanover Wildcats.
Here in Hayes at Fort Hays State University in the Gross Memorial Coliseum. A little bit of breeze and chills outside today, but things are warming up here inside the Coliseum. Hanover and Lebo set to take off in their third game, both in their third game on the day. Unfortunately, both teams dropping their first matches are sitting 0-2 in the state tournament in the 1A Division I state tournament today. So really, Hanover and Lebo right now are both playing for pride, playing to end their seasons on a winning note. Going off of what Rocky Downing said not too long ago, many teams don't get a chance to end their season with a win. And Lebo and Hanover get to do that today. Hanover Wildcats had a tough time against Pretty Prairie this morning as they played Pretty Prairie tough in the first set, dropping 23-25. They won their second set, 25-14. But then Pretty Prairie came out and just dominated that final set, 7-25. So now we're set to take off. Hanover and Lebo. Lebo's going to have the opening serve of the match, and Hanover plays it, and it's out of play. First point goes to Lebo after Hanover tried to dig that out. Next serve from Lebo goes across the net. Hanover setting up a play. And Zarbanicki sends it over. Lebo just sending it softly over the net as the Wildcats are trying to set up a play and really just trying to handle the ball and get it back over across to Lebo. Lebo sends the ball over, and it is dug out, and Hanover across the net. And Lebo, unfortunately, can't hang on to it, giving Hanover their first point of the match. 1-1. Zarbanicki set to serve the ball for the Wildcats. Zarbanicki over the net. Lebo digs it out, trying to set up a play. Sends it over the net, and it's dug out by Bruna. The Wildcats didn't have ball over the net, and looks like Lebo really just couldn't hold on to that one, and it goes out of play. Point Hanover, 2-1 Wildcats. Serve goes back to Zarbanicki. She gets set to serve from the middle of the court, sends the ball over. The Wolves dig the serve, set it up, and into the net with that hit, giving Hanover the first lead of the match, just a slight lead. So, or to extend their lead, 3-1. Zarbanicki sending another serve over the net. Wolves send it right back over, and Wildcats trying to play it into the net, so it looks like that's going to go back over to the Wolves. 3-2. 3-2 on the game. Oswald back to serve for the Wolves. Oswald sends the serves over the net. Wildcats dig it, set it up for a play, and they couldn't get to it. Bruna going in short, trying to play that ball, just couldn't get a handle on it, and into the net she went. So serve back to Lebo. Lebo sending the ball over the net. Dug out by Libby. Libby a little too hard of a dig as that ball tried to go back over the net, and Lebo stuffs it back into the Wildcats' face. Lebo back to serve. Ball's over the net. Wildcats dig it out. Once again, a little bit too much of power on that dig, and it goes right back over the net, and the Wolves are able to stuff it right back into the Wildcats' face. And really, the Wolves taking a lead here, 7-3. Hanover digs up serve, sets up a play. And it looks like Debley tried to get a hit on that and into the net, and it was blocked. But it was blocked out of bounds. Point Hanover. Hanover trying to cut this lead, trailing 7-4. Hendrickson back to serve for the Wildcats. Ball goes over the net. Lebo trying to make a play off the serve, and it's an ace for Hendrickson. Wildcats continue to cut into that deficit. Hendrickson with the serve. Ball's over the net. Lebo digging it out, trying to make a play. Sets it up. It's hit over the net to the back of the court, and it's trying to get set up for the Wildcats. They just softly serve it over to get the ball over, see if they get something set up next time. And the Wolves tipping it over. Wildcats getting a hit. Low seed smacking it down to the back of the court, and it's dug out. Wolves coming back with a hit, and it's blocked by the Wildcats. Looks like the Wolves reached over the net there. Point Hanover. Wildcats, 7-5. Hendrickson back to serve. So they're having some troubles with the scoreboard here. They keep looking over towards the scoreboard guy over here to our left. All teams, really all eyes on the scoreboard guy. No pressure running that until play stops, I guess. Right now, Lebo Wolves lead the Hanover Wildcats 7-5. Both teams playing for pride here, playing to end their seasons with a win, as they both have dropped both their matches today in the state tournament. Centralia going 2-0 and Prairie going 2-0, both advancing to tomorrow. Looks like we got things straightened out, and it's actually correction. Lebo leads 7-6. Hendrickson with the serve for the Wildcats. So we got that scoreboard situation figured out. We are just a point behind, and Hendrickson's serve goes long, giving the Wolves another point, 8-6. Wolves send the serve over. Wildcats dig it out. Hendrickson set it up and hit it over, and that's a point Wildcat. So really we're seeing some great plays on both sides of the ball here, but also you got to give these teams props. After dropping 2 games earlier today, they're out here trying to end their season on a winning note. Back to serve for the Wildcats. Losey, she sends it over. The Wolves trying to set up a play and can't, just send it back over to the Wildcats. Wildcats setting up a hit for Zarbanicki. Zarbanicki hitting it over. Wolves dig it out back over to the Wildcats. Wildcats setting up another play, and it's a hit for Clip. Clip. And that hit by Clip is blocked by the Wolves, and it's brought down on the Wildcat side of the court. Right now, Hanover trails Lebo 9-7. The Wolves with the serve. Ball's over the net. Losey dodging that serve, and it is just out of bounds. So we see that ball go back to the Wildcats. 9-8 here, tight match between the Lebo Wolves and the Hanover Wildcats. As Clip serves it over the net, Wolves set up a play, and it's smacked across. A little too powerful as it goes out of bounds, and now we have a tie, 9-9. Debley back to serve. Debley sends it over for the Wildcats. It's dug out by the Wolves. They try to set up a play, and that was hit by number 4, Avery Moore. Avery Moore was blocked by a pair of Wildcats. Point Hanover. Hanover takes their first lead of the game, 10-9. Debley back to serve. In the middle of the court, she sends the ball over. Wolves dig it out, trying to set up a play here. And that was Moore again with a hit, and it's dug out by the Wildcats, and it goes high and into the stands. So Moore's powerful hit for the Wolves was a little too much for the Wildcats. They tried to dig that out, and it just went flying into the stands above the Coliseum here, and that is point Wolf. 10-10, Lebo against Hanover here in the state tournament. Both teams fighting to end their seasons on a winning note after dropping 2 games earlier today in the tournament. Lebo to serve. Ball's over the net. Wildcats dig it out. Cliff with the setup. And Zarbanicki with the kill. With the attempt to kill, gets dug out. Lebo sends it back over softly. Wildcats trying to set something up. Can't get a handle on it. They just get it back over to the Wolves. Wolves setting up a hit. Dug out again by the Wildcats. Wildcats passing it, trying to just pass it over the net. Get it just over the net. And it looks like the Wolves are in the net. So that is point Hanover. And Hanover takes just a slight lead, 11-10. As number 2, Tasha Bruna is set to serve for the Hanover Wildcats. Bruna stepping into this serve. Ball is into the net. And that will go back to the Wolves. That evens up our score, 11-11. Both teams dropping both of their games earlier today, trying to get a win here today. We have a tight first set, 11-11. Wolves to serve. Ball over the net. Bruno with the dig. Wildcats tried to set it up, and it was just too much for Debley as she tried to set it up and dig that kill, and it just went right out of play. Wolves back to serve. Ball's over the net. Bruna digs it out. Wildcats just try to set it over the net softly, get something set up. Debley. And that was Emma Bruna with the attempted kill, and the Wolves tried to dig her out, and that one went flying out of play. So, point Wildcats. A back-and-forth ball game here. Scores tied 12-12. Wildcats send it over. That was Clip sending it over for the Wildcats. Wolves dig it, trying to set something up here. And number 13 for the Wolves, Cindy Tollefson, couldn't quite get a hand on that setup, and her hit went right into the net. Point Wildcats. Clip back to serve for Hanover. Hanover sending it over the net. And the Wolves couldn't quite get a handle on it as they hit it out of bounds. Point Hanover. Hanover taking a 2-point lead, 14-12. Clip with the serve. Sends the ball over the net. Wolves dig it out. Try to set something up here, and it's tipped over the net, and the officials are going to say illegal hit by the Wolves. Point Hanover. Clip going to serve again for the Wildcats. Wildcats up 15-12. Clip with the serve. Ball's over the net. Wolves trying to dig it. Set up a hit here. Number 12 for the Wolves sets up a hit. Into the net. It's blocked by the Wildcats. Wolves recover. Try to set something up and just softly send it over. Wildcats turn. And that was Zarbanicki with a huge hit for the Wildcats, but it's dug out by the Wolves and softly sent back over to the Wildcats as they try to set up another hit. And that was Losey's hit into the net. She couldn't quite get that up there, and point Hanover. Correction, point Lebo. Serve goes back to Lebo. We have 15-13, Wildcats lead. Ball's over the net. Wildcats dig it out, set it up. That was Debley with the attempted hit, and it was Bruna, correction, with the hit, and it was blocked by the Wolves, going out of bounds. Point Wolves. Number 7 serving for the Wolves, Madeline Smith, their libero, sends it over the net. A high serve. Wildcats recover it, try to set up a kill, and that's Zarbanicki with a powerful hit as she hits it out of bounds. But they are saying it was tipped, so that's point Hanover. Hanover leading the Lebo Wolves 16-14. Zarbanicki back to serve, steps into the serve, sends the ball over. Dug out by the Wolves. Lebo sets up a hit, sends it over the net. Wildcats dig it out, set up again. And that is a hit and winner by number 18, Emma Bruna. Point Wildcats. Zarbanicki stepping back to take that serve again. 17-14. Hanover leads. Ball's over the net. Wolves dig it out, set it up. Number 10 for the Wolves, Haley Crupper, hits it just a little too hard over the net, giving another point to the Wildcats. 18-14 right now. Hanover leading. Zarbanicki serving, sends the ball over the net. Dug out by Smith, set up by the Cats, or by the Wolves, and they just get it over to the Wildcats. Wildcats trying to set up a hit, and it looks like she was into the net. Looks like Lebo is in the net, so goes back to Hanover. Our score, 19-14. Hanover leaving Lebo here in the first match of this Pride game between these two teams. You're listening to 100.9 FM KCLY. I'm Bryce Dolan at your 1A Division I State Volleyball Tournament in Fort Hays.
Think of Sap Brothers of Hanover as your unlimited source of energy. Their business is dedicated to bulk delivery of gasoline, diesel fuel, propane, and oil in Marshall and Washington counties. Sap Brothers will deliver to homes, businesses, and even wherever you are out in the field. That's pretty important when you're in the middle of an extremely busy season. Call them for a competitive fuel quote and keep them in your contacts list. 337-2446. Sap Brothers' number again is 337-2446.
Back here at Fort Hays State Gross Memorial Coliseum for your 1A Division I State Volleyball Tournament. Hanover and Lebo both dropping both of their games earlier today, 0-2 in the tournament, now just playing for a win to end their season. Hanover leading 19-14. Zarbanicki with the serve, sends the ball over the net. Wolves just softly send it back over. Wildcats trying to set up a hit here. As Emma Bruna goes up for a hit. And it finds some open real estate on the Wolves side of the court. So the ball goes back to Hanover as the Wildcats take a 20-14 lead. Zarbanicki sends it over the net. Wolves dig it out, trying to set something up. That set goes back to the Wildcats. And the Wildcats softly send it back over as Lebo, trying to set something up, just sends it back over to Hanover. And there goes Debley, set up for a huge kill. Some power on that one as Debley got some air under her and just laid down the boom on these Lebo Wolves, giving another point to the Hanover Wildcats, 21-14. Zarbanicki still back to serve, sends the ball over the net. Wolves dig out, set it up for a hit. Back to the Wildcats. Wildcats able to handle it. Set it up for another kill for Debley, and Debley coming in with a hit and gets the point for the Wildcats. Debley, Zarbanicki really on a roll right now for the Wildcats as Zarbanicki continues to serve for Hanover. 22-14, Wildcats lead, balls over the net. Wolves dig the ball, set it up, trying to get a hit here, and it hits the top of the tape, but it gets over to the Wildcats side. Debley sending it back over for the Wildcats, gets dug out by the Wolves this time. Wolves just send it back to the Wildcats. Wildcats trying to set up another hit. Losey trying to hit it that time. Wolves able to just set it up, and then Debley just kind of pushing it over the net, giving another point to the Wildcats. 23-14. It was a tight matchup between the Wolves and the Wildcats pretty much through this whole matchup until we hit about 14, and then really we just seen Hanover just take over. Zarbanicki with the serve. The ball's over the net. Wolves dig it out, trying to set something up. That one is accidentally over and out for Lebo. So point Hanover. Ball stays with Hanover. Zarbanicki stays back serving for the Wildcats. 24-14, game point. Ball over the net. Wolves dig it out, set it up for a hit. Moore trying to go for a hit for the Wolves. And the Wildcats couldn't get a handle on that, and that is point Lebo. Correction, that was Crupper with the hit for the Wolves. 24-15. Wolves trying to defend this, game point. Ball over the net for the Wolves. Wildcats trying to dig it out, set something up. Just send it back over to Lebo. Couldn't do anything with it. Lebo sends it right back over with the soft set and catches the Wildcats by surprise. 24-16. Lebo hanging on to this game point. Don't want to give up quite yet. Lebo sending the ball over to Hanover. Wildcats try to dig that serve, and they just can't get a handle on it as it is hit out of play. So again, game point for the Wildcats. 24-17. Ball's up over the net. Wildcats dig it out, trying to make a set. Zarbanicki setting it up. And that was number 27, Rachel Sherling, with the hit. Senior, 5'7" senior. A little bit too much power on that hit as it travels out of the court and gives another point to Lebo. Lebo with the serve. Wolves send it over the net. Zarbanicki with the set. And Debley with the hit this time, and it's good. So that wraps up our first match between these two teams who didn't really have much success today, but they're really trying to play for some pride and end their season on a high note. Hanover wins 25-16. We'll be right back here at the 1A Division I State Volleyball Tournament in the Gross Memorial Coliseum. You're listening to KCLY.
century, we've specialized in serving the financial needs of the entire ag community. Stop by and let's talk. Citizen State Bank, Marysville, Waterville, and Hanover. Member FDIC.
For over 65 years, Hanover Electric has served the area with all their electrical, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning needs. They appreciate the support they've received from the local area year after year and the friends they've made along the way. Hanover Electric is proud to welcome new clientele and look forward to many years of working together. They will continue to provide excellent service to the community. Hanover Electric keeps everything running efficiently.
We're back here at the 1A Division I State Volleyball Tournament here at Fort Hays State University in the Gross Memorial Coliseum. We have Lebo and Hanover playing right now. Both teams just trying to get a win on the day. Lebo dropped their first game, and unfortunately Hanover dropping their first two. So 0-2 on the day. Lebo's 0-1. Lebo still has to play. Lebo's done for the day. Correction. So they're both 0-2 on the day. Prairie and Centralia are both 2-0 on the day, and they play this afternoon. So that could be a precursor to what we could see Saturday. But Prairie, Centralia heading into Saturday play, and we have Lebo and Hanover here, both 0-2, trying to end their seasons on a winning note. Hanover winning the first game against Lebo here, 25-16. As we get ready to start this second game, both teams are on the court. And really, that first match between Lebo and Hanover was really close up until about the midway mark when they were tied at 14, and Hanover just took over and went away, winning that match 25-16. Hanover's going to start this match with the serve over the net. Wildcats send the ball over the net. Lebo unable to do anything with it as they send it back over, and the Wildcats let it fall out of bounds, and they're saying it's touched by Hanover, so 1-0 start for Lebo. We've seen this go back and forth in the first set between these two teams. Lebo with the serve. Ball's over the net for Hanover. Wildcats trying to get a handle on it, and it's out of bounds. And it looked like number 18 for the Wildcats, Emma Bruna, almost ran into the scoreboard table over there as she was chasing that ball out of bounds. Wolves up 2-0. Lebo sends the ball over the net. Wildcats dig it out, setting up a serve. Debley with the hit, and it's blocked by the Wolves. Wolves trying to set something out now and just send it across to the Wildcats. Wildcats set it up. And Losi with a soft set over the middle, and the Wolves recover it, sending it back over to the Wildcats, just trying to get a handle on the ball. And the Wildcats, they're just trying to keep it in play as well as they send it back over to Lebo. Lebo trying to set up a hit, and it's into the net. Point Hanover. 1-2 here. Lebo leading early in the second game. Like I said, we've seen this before in this first match between these two teams. They were really neck and neck till about midway through the set. We'll see what happens here. Hanover to serve. Libby back to serve for the Wildcats. Wolves going to get a hand on it. Point Wildcats. Goes back to Libby to serve. Libby sends the ball over the net. Wolves dig this one out. Couldn't get anything done with this one either. Another point for the Wildcats. 2 aces so far for Libby. In this round anyway. Libby sends the ball over the net. And the Wolves again couldn't do anything with it. As number 19, Debley, kind of put her hands up and made sure they really couldn't return that ball to their side of the court. So point Wildcats. Libby with the serve again. Ball's over the net. Wolves trying to set something up. They do a quick set over the net. Wildcats weren't expecting it. Dug it out, gets sent back over to Lebo. Lebo just smacked it right back in their face, giving another point to the Wolves. 4-3, Wildcats lead. Wolves with the serve. Ball's over the net. Wildcats dig it out, set something up. Debley with the hit. Wolves dig out Debley. Set it back across the net. Wildcats for another play. Debley again. Debley with the hit. And the Wolves couldn't get a handle on that one as Debley smacked that down to number 12, Logan Swartz of Lebo. 5-3 Hanover, leading in this second set. Back to serve for the Wildcats, number 27, Rachel Sherling. Sherling sends it over the net. The libero for Lebo tries to dig it out. Goes high. Wolves try to play it and couldn't get anything set up, and it's in the net. Back over to Hanover. To serve for the Wildcats. Rachel Sherling sends the ball over the net. Wolves trying to just get a handle on it as they send it back over to Hanover. Hanover trying to set up a play here. And another strong hit by Taylor Cliff. She's been showing that strong arm a lot today. And that is a point for the Wildcats. Sherling back to serve. Senior for the Wildcats sends the ball over the net. Lands just out of bounds, giving the point to the Wolves. 7-4. Hanover leads. Number 10 for the Wolves getting ready to serve is Haley Crupper. Crupper sends the ball just short into the net. Actually hits her teammate Avery Moore in the back. 8-4 Wildcats. We see the ball go back to the Wildcats as number 19, Macy Debley, a junior, serving for the Wildcats. Sends the ball over the net. Wolves get a handle on it, trying to make a play. And they're saying that the Wildcats were in the net, so the ball goes back to Lebo. 8-5. We've seen some good play on both sides of the ball. Hanover doing some great things here against the Wolves. Dig out the serve. Wildcats set something up. It's hit over, but the Wolves are able to get a handle on it. Lebo sending it back over. Great save by the Wildcats as Debley just softly served that over the net, and the Wolves were unable to handle it. Looks like they're going to be giving that one to the Wolves. They're going to say the Wildcats were in the net. Point Wolves. Lebo trailing by 2, 8-6. Wolves send the ball over the net. Hanover able to dig that one and get a set on it. And they're able to set up a play. That was number 20, Taylor Clip, with the hit. And point for the Wildcats. So we see the serve go back to Hanover here as their libero, number 2, Tasha Bruna, gets ready to serve this ball for the Wildcats. Again, both teams 0-2 on the day, just trying to end their season on a winning note. Not going to be going into Saturday play, unfortunately, tomorrow. But like Rocky Downing said earlier, how many teams get to play for a win for their last game of the season? So here we go. Wildcats. Bruna sends the ball over the net. And the Wolves couldn't get a handle on it. Point Hanover. Goes back to Bruna, serving again, the libero. She puts the ball up and over the net. Wildcats able to get a handle on this time, stand up a play. Trying to just softly tip it over, and the Wildcats block it. Wolves just trying to get it back over the net. Wildcats smack it back in their face. Wolves setting something up, able to get across the net. Wildcats dig out that hit. Setting up a big hit for number 18, Emma Bruna. Now, Bruna had a little too much power on that hit as it went out the back of the court, giving the point and the ball back to Lebo. Had to chase the ball back out into the hallway. A little too much power on that one. Wanted to leave the building. Wolves with the serve. Send it over the net. Wildcats able to set something up, and number 20, Taylor Clip, goes up for a hit, but gets a little tripped up and into the net. So a little error there by the Wildcats as they give the ball back to Lebo to serve. Number 40 for the Wolves. Rebecca Charbonneau sends the ball over the net. Wildcats able to dig it up, and they spike it back across right away, but the Wolves getting a handle on it. Send it right back to the Wildcats. Wildcats dig it out, sending it over the net. Lebo trying to set something up here. A big hit by Lebo as they send it to the Wildcats side, but Wildcats able to dig it out. Wildcats trying to set something up and into the net. That was number 18, Emma Bruna, as she set up for a nice-looking hit there. Wasn't able to get a hand on the ball. Point Lebo. Hanover still leads 10-8. Lebo with the serve. Serves it over, and it smacks number 2, Tasha Bruna, a little high up on her arm, and they aren't able to get a handle on it. So Lebo closing in on this lead that Hanover has. 10-8 here. Number 40 for the Wolves back to serve, Rebecca Charbonneau. Sends the ball over the net. Wildcats able to get a handle on it. Sets something up. And they tried to set another hit up for Taylor Clip, and she just quite couldn't get there. It was just high enough just too high for her, and she got a little tripped up and into the net. So point Lebo. Looks like we're going to take a timeout. Lebo's going to take a timeout, so are we. You're listening to 1A Division I State Volleyball here on 100.9 FM, KCLY.
Having a grocery store is more than just a place to buy food. It's a necessity for any vibrant town. You can't have a thriving community without a place to get great variety of grocery items. Crowley's Market is your local grocer that provides customers with consistency, quality, and value for their everyday needs. From the fresh selection in their meat and bakery departments to household, beauty products, and more, Crowley's Market is proud to be your neighborhood grocery store and proud supporters of the Hanover Wildcats.
Tie ball game, 10-10. Wolves have the serve. Lebo sends it across to the Wildcats. Wildcats hit it right back into the face of the Wolves, giving Hanover the lead. Well, actually, it was out of bounds. Correction. That hit for the Wildcats was out of bounds, giving Lebo the point. Lebo sending it back over with the serve. Wildcats being able to get a hand on it, try to set something up. And Bruna just sends it back over the net. Wolves trying to set up a play as well. Can't get a handle on it, so they just send it back to the Wildcats. Wildcats, big hit by Cliff as it is dug out by the Wildcats, or by the Wolves. Wolves send it back over. Wildcats unable to get a hand on it as it travels out of bounds. So Lebo taking the lead here in the match, 12-10. Wolves send the serve over the net. Wildcats able to get a hand on it as they set up a hit for Zarvanecki. Zarvanecki, soft hit over the net. Wolves try to dig out Zarvanecki's hit and set something up, but it goes into the net. Point Hanover. 12-11. Wildcats trying to take the lead back here in the second game of this matchup. Going back to serve for Hanover, number 8, Taylor Bruna. Bruna sends the ball over the net. Wolves trying to get a handle on it, and it's into the antenna on the net after the Wolves hit it, so point Hanover. Bruna is going to stay back and serve for the Wildcats as we have a tie score now, 12-12. Bruna, ball over the net. Wolves able to hold on to it. They set up a play for their libero who just quite can't get there and hits the ball into the net. Hanover taking the lead, 13-12. Bruna back to serve for the Wildcats. Bruna sends the ball over the net, catches the tape just a little bit, and catches the defense off guard as it just trickles over that net and drops straight down onto the court side of Lebo. Point Hanover. Hanover leading, 14-12. Bruna back to serve, ball over the net. Libero for the Wolves is able to get a handle on it and set up a play, and they just back it across. Wildcats trying to set up a play for Losi. Losi, soft hit over the net as the Wolves were able to return it and just tip it over the net and surprise the Wildcats with a soft tip. So Wolves point Lebo, 14-13, only down by 1, trying to fight the Hanover Wildcats here. Lebo sends the ball over the net. Wildcats able to make a play here, set up Zarvanecki. Zarvanecki with the hit. Almost blocked at the net, but it makes its way over. Wolves try to set up a play, and there is a hard hit. Drops right in the corner of the court. Ball's going to stay with Lebo. We have a tie game once again. And, very similar trend we saw in the first game. And this was about the point where Hanover started to take the lead by quite significantly take the lead. So Lebo with the serve. Ball's over the net. Wildcats not really able to do anything with it as they send it back over. Wolves trying to set up a play, and the Wildcats block Lebo. So we see the serving go back to Hanover. Still a close ball game, 15-14, Wildcats lead. Zarvanecki with the serve, sends it over. Wolves trying to make a play. Just trying to get it over, and they're saying a legal touch by the Wolves. They had some trouble getting a handle on that serve from Zarvanecki. Zarvanecki with the serve for the Wildcats. Sends the ball over the net. Lebo just sends it right back over to Hanover, and they weren't expecting it as it drops in the middle of them, giving the point to Lebo. Again, similar trend to the first game, neck and neck all the way through this till about the midway point. 16-15 right now. Hanover leading. Lebo with the serve. Lebo sending the ball over. Wildcats able to get a handle on that. That was Debley with the hit. Found some open real estate on the Lebo side of the ball. So now we're starting to see those Wildcats build that lead again, 17-15. Number 6 for the Wildcats, Bailey Leiby back to serve. Leiby stepping into the serve, sends the ball over the net. Wolves not quite getting a hand on it. That's an ace for Leiby. And another point for Hanover. Wildcats starting to trail away here, 18-15. Leiby, 5'6", senior, back to serve. Leiby sends the ball over the net. Wolves able to get a handle on it, dig it out, set up a hit, and softly touch it over the net, and the Wildcats couldn't get a block there. And the ball goes back to Lebo. Point, Wolves. 18-16, still close ball game. Number 12 for Lebo back to serve, Logan Swartz. Swartz sends the ball over. Wildcats dig it out, set something up. And number 30, Phoenix for the Wildcats, has a soft hit over the net, and it just doesn't quite get there. Wolves send it right back over. Wildcats set up another hit for Debley, and Debley hits it, and they're going to say the Wolves were in the net when they tried to block that. Point Hanover. Hanover continuing to build on this lead. 19-16. Wildcats lead. Number 27 for the Wildcats, back to serve, Rachel Sherling. Sherling sends it over the net. Wolves dig it out, set up a hit, get it across the net. Wildcats dig that hit, set it up, and just softly tap it back over. A long back hit by the libero for Lebo, number 7, Madeline Smith. Smith was about in the back of the middle of the court, and she smacked that ball across the net, caught some tape, and it just dropped right in front of the Wildcat defense. Ending a little bit of a streak there for the Wildcats. Lebo gets the ball back. 19-17, keeping this one close. Lebo sends the ball over. Wildcats able to dig that one out. And that was Debley with the hit, trying to send it back over to the Wolves, and she got her. Debley going back to serve now for the Wildcats. Hanover leading 20-17. Trying to put this one away in 2 sets. Debley with the serve. Wolves able to get a handle on it, and that's Smith again, the libero for the Wolves, from way back in the court trying to hit it over, and it sails out of bounds. Point Wildcat. Debley back to serve for Hanover. Ball's over the net. Wolves able to get a handle on it as they're setting up a play, and they slowly tap it over. Wildcats 2 sets into a hit by Cliff. And Cliff catches some tape with that hit, but it rolls over the net, and the Wolves defense not able to get a handle on it. Debley still back to serve for Hanover. Wildcats now leading 22-17. Debley sends it over. Wolves trying to set something up and just hit an arching shot back over to the Wildcats. Wildcats able to just set it right back over to Lebo. Lebo trying to get a handle on it. Tried to hit it over, and it's blocked by the Wildcats and falls back down onto Lebo's side of the court. The Wildcats leading the Wolves 23-17. Debley back to serve. Looks like we're having some line judge issues here as they're talking with the chair official. I see them pointing at the antenna. One line judge is talking to the chair official, and 2 other line judges are conversing. Let's see what happens here. We're going to take a quick break here at the 1A Division I State Volleyball Tournament, and we'll be right back. You're listening to KCLY.
Andy's Hardware and Lumber continues to meet the needs of their customers with quality building products, tools, hardware, and customer service. They carry a wide selection of products to give you more choices and more solutions. Whatever you're building or remodeling, you need a reliable source of lumber, windows, doors, and hardware at good competitive prices. When you deal with Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover, you'll always be treated right. They extend good luck wishes to the Hanover Wildcats.
Back here at Gross Memorial Coliseum, Wildcats able to get that next point on an error by Lebo. 24-17 game point here for the Wildcats as they set up Zarbanecki for a hit. Zarbanecki hits it over. It's dug out by Smith. Smith trying to set something up for the Wolves. Can't quite get there. They just softly touch it over to the Wildcats. Wildcats trying to get a play set up for Cliff. Cliff sends that hit out of bounds, clear out of the court. That goes dang near the front door. So game point here for the Wildcats as the Wolves are hanging on 24-18. Wolves send the serve over. Hanover trying to set up a play for Cliff. Cliff again sending that ball out of play as well. But hey, correction, they ruled that one in for Cliff. So that one was successful. That one wasn't out of play. Wildcats win this one, 25-19 against the Lebo Wolves. So after a tough matchup earlier in the day, Hanover dropping their first two games, losing to Pretty Prairie, losing to Centralia, now in their season on a high note, on a winning note, 25-19. Lebo 0-3 on the day. Congratulations to the Hanover Lady Wildcats. We'll be back with a wrap-up here on KCLY. You're listening to 1A Division I State Volleyball on KCLY.
The Hanover Hospital and Warren Clinic is ready to protect your family's health care needs. From newborns to seniors and everyone in between, they are committed to delivering high-quality care, addressing the health needs ranging from prevention, checkups, and care of illnesses and injury to maternity and other health conditions. They take pride in those they serve. Join Hanover Hospital and Warren Clinic in cheering on the student-athletes of the community in their academic and sporting events. They're proud of the Hanover Wildcats. Jones Trash Service provides residential and commercial waste pickup in Washington County. Their service is affordable, dependable, and professional. Jones Trash Service also offers roll-off containers to support your special projects. Whether it's renovation, cleanup, roof replacement, or yard clearing, they'll deliver the containers to you when you need it and remove it when your job is complete. Contact them for quotes for home or business trash service if you're not already on their route. Jones Trash Service of Washington.
Back here at Gross Memorial Coliseum on Fort Hays State University at the 1A Division I State Volleyball Tournament. Hanover just finishing up their play for the day, and unfortunately the Lady Wildcats will not be heading into Saturday play. Just to kind of give you an overview of what happened with the Lady Wildcats today, they played Pretty Prairie this morning. Hanover's number 5 seed, Pretty Prairie's number 4 seed. In the first set, Hanover lost 23-25, but kept it close. The Lady Wildcats came out and dominated in the second set, 25-14, putting Pretty Prairie away. But in the third set, Pretty Prairie came back out and did the exact same thing, beating the Lady Wildcats 25-7, handing the Lady Wildcats their first loss on the day. Then after a couple more games were played, Centralia versus Lebo, Pretty Prairie versus Lebo. Unfortunately, Lebo dropping those two. Centralia and the Lady Wildcats faced off, rivals in the Twin Valley League. Centralia, number 1 seed in the tournament. Hanover, like I said, number 5. Centralia able to sweep the Lady Wildcats in 2 sets, 25-18 and then 25-10 in the second one. But Hanover, Lady Wildcats, don't hang your heads too much. You ended your season on a winning note. They beat the number 8 seed Lebo Wolves 25-16 in the first set and were able to put them away 25-19 in the second set. Both of these games, matches were extremely close and neck, exchanging leads about midway through the match. But then the Lady Wildcats were able to just get out of there with a sweeping win against the Lebo Wolves. Now later on here on KCLY, we're going to be covering Axtell. Axtell starts their activity this afternoon at 4:30 against Northern Valley. Axtell is a number 7 seed in the tournament, and Northern Valley is a number 2 seed. Again, their game is set to begin at 4:30. Right now, for the pool for Hanover, kind of a precursor to what we will see tomorrow in Saturday play. Centralia and Pretty Prairie setting to take the court and play each other right now. And these two teams, of course, will be going and heading into Saturday play. But great job to Hanover and the Lady Wildcats. Their season is over, but they were able to end it with a win. Overall on the season with the state tournament, the Lady Wildcats of Hanover are 30-12 on the season. So congratulations and great job to Hanover and the Lady Wildcats. We'll be back later this afternoon to cover Axtell's activity here at the state volleyball tournament for 1A Division I. You're listening to 100.9 FM KC.